ready for like 20 minutes now.
Live. Oh my goodness,
we're
we're
live.
live. We're live.
He gets a mic, but he doesn't realize I muted him, so he like yelled into it.
Hey everybody.
We
Still can't hear him. Oh, he figured it out.
Oh,
Are you gonna say something?
so got some new equipment.
Yeah, I got draw mic. We got changed out our mic stands.
Courtesy
for
of
something
Jordan.
Smaller mic stands.
Means we have to do this more often now.
Yeah.
Less work, more play.
Well, the thing is that it's expandable. So I was thinking that we were gonna have a Mr. DC coming over, but he was busy. I don't know if you had a chance to hang out with him at all.
He came down to Tucson. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he stayed at my house.
Oh, cool. Well, when he was up here, I texted him, and I guess he was leaving like that day.
Yeah.
So I didn't know when he was getting into town.
Waited a little too long there, bud.
Yeah, that was my fault.
That's all right, though.
I saw his brother last weekend.
Which one?
His younger brother.
Chance.
Chance.
The
Yeah.
Chance. The one and only Chance.
The last chance to have a girl.
Last chance.
Yeah.
How's he doing?
He's doing pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah. We talked for a few minutes.
He's a fun guy.
Yeah, he's
Such a nice kid.
a little funny.
He
No,
can be.
he,
I don't know if he's on the same level as Dirk.
No one
Dirk's
is.
on a different
He's
level.
on his own level.
Dirk's on a fucking unbelievable
he
level.
set a level, and you're just like, whoa,
Yeah.
who didn't know that was a
Yeah.
level? Yes, he was doing photography for a wedding I went to. I think he was the second shooter on the grassy knoll.
Sniper in the bushes.
Yeah.
Red team go, red team go.
Yeah, that's what he was doing.
I know the reference.
So,
How you been?
pretty good. Tired.
I've been thinking about what you accomplished real quick
in a short amount
in
of
the
time.
WOW.
Oh, yeah.
And as I tell more people, they're like, I didn't even know that guy fucking played.
What?
But then they're like, clearly he does, because he did all the mage towers.
That's my secret.
He did all the mage towers. No life.
Yeah.
You're ridiculous.
No life award. Honestly, it got to a point, though, where I was doing 4 or 5 of them in a day. Like the healing ones. So
No, It's not about that. It's not about how many you did. It's what it took to get there to be able to do them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't much, though. I mean, so with my priest, for example.
What sounds ridiculous is you have one of every character of every class, and every spec has a set of gear good enough to do mage tower.
Yeah. Well,
That's
nice thing
ridiculous.
is, like,
most people struggle to do one character.
But the nice thing is like, well, ever since they made that change, so like if like on my shaman, for a perfect example, so you have there are 3 different specs. You have a ranged caster, a melee, and then a healer. But the same gear I had for the melee, like when you switch specs, the agility just turns to intellect.
Right.
So it's pretty decent, you know.
You get that a lot.
The only thing that was troubling was the legendaries. That was just luck. Like
Yeah.
if I could get legendaries for different specs.
Right.
But it really wasn't that bad. Like, so my priest, I got to 110 on a Tuesday, and I accomplished the first mage tower on disc on a Saturday.
Was that me?
I think so. It wasn't me.
Take this off of vibrate. It's like I have a dildo in my pocket.
Unprofessional. It's not even in your pocket, so if that must be something else.
Super dildo.
It was like on a
bucket.
over
Yeah,
there.
on a bucket.
In
Jarrell has buckets.
On a bucket in your pocket?
Yep.
Yeah.
Good deal.
I know it's pretty funny too, because like when after I did it, I remember, I think I told you were the only one, because I was like, who could I tell? Like, I can't tell my wife, because she would just be like, I don't care.
Who cares?
Yeah. That doesn't mean anything.
I've been waiting for you guys to log on so you can see my new transmog and tell me what you think.
Oh.
Because it's pretty
We've been
amazing.
on-
I
There's
call
nothing to do.
I call it the White
There
Commander.
was 4 patches that I did when I got home from work on Tuesday, or 4 quests rather.
Yeah, the dog shit.
And I
I'm
was
really
like,
pissed.
okay, this
Pre-patch
pre-patch
sucks.
Oh,
sucks.
fucking pre-patch week 2. Really?
Why did you hold
3
it out a
quests?
week? It was
3
4,
quests,
it was
and you
4
gave me
to
a
be
mount.
fair, but the fourth one
And the
was
mount
just
looks
like,
ugly.
there.
It's
Yeah.
too fat. It's
Yeah, it
such
runs
a
funny.
fat mount.
I just am tired of the Horde always being like the bad guy. Like,
oh, she's bad.
Like,
she's bad.
well,
I love it.
and the thing that was just so frustrating, because here's the thing though, that it's more frustrating, is that if they would have said, yep, Sylvanas is going bad, we're going to be evil, then it's like, okay, I'll get behind that. But for months now, they're saying, you guys don't know the whole story. She's morally gray. Like, it's not black, it's not white.
No, she said,
And
fucking
straight up,
kill
it's
them
like,
all, burn that tree.
She was just straight
anyway,
up evil.
spoiler alert, and
Yeah,
we're also talking
spoiler
about
alert.
World of Warcraft.
Yeah, spoiler
Just
alert for
so
like the
everyone is
people are just
aware.
like, oh, they're talking about World of Warcraft. Like, I don't care
No,
about
a
this.
bunch of fucking nerds.
Nerds.
Nerds. But yeah.
Also, what's funny on that note, though, at work, maybe 2 weeks ago now, we were talking about something, and they started talking about this thing that they're doing on Saturday, and it was like these 5 people, and
5 guys.
there was 4 guys and 1 girl. So like they were talking about like
sausage fest.
getting together on Saturday or whatever.
Throwing a sausage fest.
Like because I was like kind of listening, but kind of not. I didn't want to like eavesdrop or whatever. I'm like, I'm like, are you guys playing D&D? And they were like, they looked at me and they're like, yeah, it's pretty fun. They're like, you want to go? And I was like, no.
That's
I'm like,
next level nerd.
I was like,
shit.
I'm a nerd, but I have a line, and that's the line.
That is it. When you start making character sheets and shit and rolling dice for stats.
Yeah. So
my saving throw is gonna be +8.
So do you remember that old? I think it was pre-YouTube. It was like I can't remember what it was. The old website was, but it had like videos. But it was like 8-bit D&D. It was like this really
talking about Newgrounds.
Yeah, Newgrounds.
Newgrounds.
Yeah,
that's where Salad Fingers came from.
Yeah. Same website. Yeah,
all that.
So it was
figure ninjas.
It was 8-bit D&D, and it was just like this total like making fun of it or whatever. And I was like, that's my only knowledge of how D&D works.
Yeah.
And so I just picture you guys doing that, and they were like,
I've seen that.
They were like, I've never heard of it. So I sent them all a link to it, and I was like, this is what I picture you all doing on Saturday. And I think they felt kind of bad. I was like, no, I'm a nerd too. Just like you guys are
next level nerd.
You guys are up there. Not like it's a bad thing or anything.
No.
But
all playing D&D.
But it was funny because like I always get made fun of at work for being like the nerdlinger is what they say, and I'm just like, hey, whoa, I may be bad, but these guys out here, we have 5 people that are playing D&D, right? And they're like, okay, that's fair.
Yeah,
like
yeah, exactly.
So it was pretty funny.
It's funny. Some kid said, one of my brother's friends pulled up the podcast last night. You want to know the first thing out of his fucking mouth? Your friend looks like a nerd.
Nice.
I said, you know what?
Thank you.
I said, I don't really see it that way.
Yeah.
Because I don't like judge people based off of appearances.
Right. What is this, high school?
Yeah, that's what I said. That was my exact words. I said, that's some high school bullshit right there. And then he was like, well, yeah. My friend used to be a jock. I said, boom, kids. Red flag again. You just called somebody a jock. That's not a thing. That's not a label in the real world.
Well, the thing is that there's no such thing as like popular kid or popular people, like unless you talk about like celebrities. You know?
Yeah.
Like who is a popular person at your office? Do you ever have like people that are just like, hey, what's up, man?
Yeah. Like, I want to stand next to this guy.
This guy's so cool. Hey, do you want to go to lunch? It's like, no one does that.
No one does that at all.
It's like a stupid high school thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's this like joke that we always like, talk about people that do that still. And it's like the people that still think of it in high school, they're like the real losers.
Yeah.
They're the ones that haven't moved on yet.
For sure. Because I was like, dude, I don't even know what that means. To call my friend a nerd. I'm like, I guess if you're thinking in stereotypical fashion.
Right. What is this, a sitcom?
Jordan.
I'm the nerd character.
Yeah, you're the fucking nerd character from
well, thank you,
the Big Bang Theory.
Yeah. Well, people do call me Sheldon a lot.
Yeah.
And I was like, I've never seen that show.
I've briefly seen like skippets of it.
Yeah.
Snippets.
Whatever you want to call them.
Yeah. Short little.
So we were watching Infinity War because it came out digitally on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And there's this funny part that I've just been saying all the time now, where he says something, we have to go to Neville, I don't know the name of the planet. And he's like, you made that word up. He's like, all words are made up. I was like, that's actually one of the coolest like lines.
All words are made up.
Exactly. So if you want to call it whatever it was, fine, you made up a word.
Right.
Go you coined a new phrase.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so.
Good shit.
Yeah. A lot of good movies coming out.
Ooh, yeah. Venom looks good.
Yeah, the
Venom
trailer
looks real
crazy.
good.
So does Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them too.
Oh, yeah. The
really
trailers look really good. What
Yeah.
are you scared of, Mr. What's his name?
What's Newt Scamander?
Scamander. I was thinking Salamander.
Yeah, that's what I had to say it all.
He was like, oh, I fear a desk job. Basically.
Yeah, a desk job.
What?
That was so funny.
That's
the
crazy.
Things that fears you the most.
Because it's gonna bring up that mirror thing. Brings up like your deepest, darkest fears, and his is like a fucking desk.
That's crazy though. That's Dumbledore.
Oh yeah,
because I didn't know that was at first. I was like, who's this guy? And then he talked about Dumbledore. I'm like, oh no way.
Yeah, did you know Dumbledore's gay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They revealed that in one of the Harry Potter movies, or I think it was in one of the books.
But
first.
you'll probably be able to see maybe his love interest in this. going back in time.
Little wizard on wizard action.
Maybe he's got a thing for Newt.
Yeah.
Little Newt.
I could see that.
I wonder, it makes you wonder how powerful Newt Scamander is, though. Like,
Yeah.
as far as, like, wizards are concerned in Harry Potter world.
Well, the whole Harry Potter lore is confusing because it's like, how do you scale who's powerful or not?
Yeah, right?
Because, like, it was really
the
weird
most powerful bad guy gets beat by a baby.
Well, yeah,
just wrecked.
Right. Well, I don't know, because he was protected by, like, a love spell or whatever.
They end up saying that's not what saved him.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
in Prisoner of Azkaban, he does that Patronus charm that they say it was the most powerful one ever conjured by it had to have been like the most powerful wizard ever.
Yeah.
And then it turns out to be him, but then in the next movie, it's like he couldn't do anything to stop.
Is that the most powerful spell? Because I could have swore Abracadabra was the death spell.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, that's like
somebody.
one of the forbidden spells, though.
I know.
I don't know. That's the thing, though. It's like there's no consistency. Like they learn these spells in a movie and then they never really do it again, except for like the Patronus one and like Expelliarmus. Like those ones are. Like,
yeah.
But like they do these ones like like we were just watching Chamber of Secrets last night because my daughter's finally starting to like watch it. She's very scared of them. I'm like, don't be scared.
Yeah.
Because like the big snake came out or the basilisk or whatever. Yeah. And she like is like scooting backwards and like climbing up on the couch. Like you could visually see she was terrified. Yeah. And so I just started like laughing, like what a weird looking worm, you know? And like she's like hesitant, like yeah. So we probably won't go to like the next one just yet. Funny. We'll wait a little bit, but
what's the next one after
Prisoner of Azkaban is the next one after Chamber of Secrets.
Sorcerer's Stone.
Yep.
Chamber of Secrets. Yep. Prisoner of Azkaban.
Yep.
Goblet of Fire. Order of the Phoenix.
Goblet of Fire. Order of the Phoenix. Half-Blood Prince.
Then
Deathly Hallows 1. Deathly Hallows 2. Yeah.
Okay. And then Who Gives a Fuck?
And then
Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them.
And then then after that's like a prequel. After that is Harry Potter and the Cursed Child or whatever.
That's more of a script thing.
Yeah,
it's a play.
It's a play
for like Broadway type shit. Yeah, I don't know though, cause like there's that. What is it? The name of the second one's The Crimes of Grindelwald or whatever.
Yeah.
And where does that guy come into play? Is he like the precursor to Voldemort?
Yeah, I think so. I think he was like the bad guy.
If you say it Voldemort with the T, it's wrong apparently. Fuck her though, because she never said that until way after the fact. And
the T is silent.
The T is silent. Yeah, Voldemort. What a gay name. Not cool.
Yeah, it's not. It doesn't have the same effect.
Voldemort with the T. I had put extra emphasis on it too.
I like you have to say it, otherwise it's like, how dare you say he who must not be named?
He who must not be named. Yeah. But that leaves me to question, like, if everybody's getting the shit kicked out of them by Grindelwald or whatever his name is.
Yeah.
How powerful is that guy?
Right.
And then if Newt Scamander fights him,
is it like a Goku progression system?
I started watching Dragon Ball Super the other day, so I'm pretty fresh in my Goku knowledge.
But like, because Dragon Ball Z...
Are we talking about Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan?
Well, is that a thing now?
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan.
Okay, that's way past... Well, last one I watched was Super Saiyan
when they
4.
Well, and so what's funny is, like, there's a movie, and I can't remember what the name of the movie is. It's like the newest two movies.
Oh, hold up real quick. Did we ever check framing and focus?
Framing and focus.
Is it framed correctly? No?
You go back about it.
Oh. Well, pardon us.
Oh, no, it's pretty focused.
Yeah. What are you talking about, Jarrell? Get that dog shit Alienware laptop the fuck out of here.
Did it zoom in when I did that?
Yeah.
Did it? Okay, so
Tyler's face was huge.
That's gonna be a funny. That'll be a funny little video thing where we just check the focus. Okay, it was good though.
Yeah, whatever.
Well, because we were like so busy like talking that
that's
we
fine.
Even,
that's
like,
how that's how it should be. You deal with it, motherfuckers. And by motherfuckers, I mean friendly guests of the stream and followers of the podcast.
Yeah.
We're not streaming yet.
We're not streaming. No.
I'm just working it into the lingo.
We need to get Jarrell internet first, is what it is.
Jarrell, you don't have internet?
What's internet?
You don't have internet?
He does, but for the drama, like you were just like.
You probably need better internet. This is probably the thing.
I know, I did. I could. I'm like,
what you need is
cutting expenses.
Yeah, you definitely need like at least 50 meg up.
I got dial-up.
50 meg up would be like solid.
He's got that 28K.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you don't even know. We used to play Guild Wars on 28K. It wasn't even...
No, we played on 56.
No. We
didn't have 56?
It was 28K, and it was some weird thing that you rigged up on the computer.
It was the free, like,
it was
trying to find the free dial-up.
28K dial-up.
And I'm like... couldn't find AOL discs.
Because I'm like sitting there
like... have an AOL disc?
Yeah, no one had an AOL disc. Back when it was relevant.
Yeah.
But we were like...
It's like net zero or something like
I knew, 56K. Right. And then we had 28K. And I'm like, why is it half?
Because we didn't have money to pay for it.
But it was free. And like patch day was brutal. Man. Patch day was... It took 24 hours to patch.
Like 100 megabyte patch. Yeah. Like, here we go, boys.
All right, downtime. Because we used to play in shifts.
Yeah.
We used to play for 24 hours a day.
Like an 8-hour shift.
Yeah.
Running.
Well, like 2 of us would be up at any given time while one was sleeping. And we just rotate it. And we played on the same character. Can you imagine that?
Yeah.
Can you imagine how much you could accomplish if 3 people
we had an
Xbox
too that we would like play like
Xbox stuff. So one person would play Dirk the
cigarettes.
Darganus. The other person would be like playing Splinter Cell on the Xbox. And the other person would be sleeping.
Yeah.
And if they weren't sleeping, they were like not really playing. We had time blocks.
Every chair had an ashtray. I remember we made sure even the toilet had an ashtray.
We had like 6 couches and 400 ashtrays, and we had those like popcorn things that you get for Christmas.
Full
of cigarette butts.
We
the
had to,
whole fucking giant can.
And this wasn't like over the course of a year. This was like
we only lived there all together for like 4 or 5 months total.
Where was this?
In Missouri. Yeah. We went out there with Bryce and
great times.
It was so much fun. Remember, were you there when we went to downtown? We were going to try to find that party or whatever because Bryce met those girls on MySpace. We were going to go like try to meet up with them, and they're like, yeah, we don't really want to meet up anymore. And he was like, okay. So we were just like standing downtown with we were underage. We couldn't buy alcohol.
Yeah.
We were like 18. So we were just like standing there like a bunch of idiots.
Weren't you with me when we were walking through the mall the one time?
Yeah.
And like these rando fucking high school girls. And mind you, we're like 18 just out of high school. So it's relevant. Like, and these girls are just like, it was like a group of them. And they're like, like tee-heeing and shit off to the side. And then like one of them grew some nuts and like came over and was like, we all think you're really hot.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, thanks.
Thank you. We were like, I remember we were just like, thank you. And like walked off. Like we were... Didn't even think anything of it.
Yeah. Bryce is meeting chicks on MySpace.
It wasn't even
Facebook. Because the Facebook existed then.
It was just private.
It was private for college students with college email addresses only. Yeah. Back when Facebook was like legit.
Yeah, when it first started.
Yeah.
Because that would have been what, 2005?
Yep. 2005.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah. Like the summer to like... When did you leave? November?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so August, September, October, November. 4 months is how long we were all there.
Yeah.
Because I came in like July, August. Actually, I came in August, I know for a fact.
Yeah, and I would have already been there for a month.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we went out there and...
I worked.
Yeah.
From...
When you were signing... That was when you signed up for the Air Force, too.
Yeah, I'd already been signed up for the Air Force.
Yeah, you signed up and you were deploying in like... January, February.
What a mind fuck that is to think that I've already done 6 years in the Air Force. I got out. Yeah. Then Dirk joined, and it's been another 6 years already.
It's crazy. It's been 13 years since Missouri. Like 13 years ago at this time,
that's so crazy.
You would have been getting out there.
Yeah.
That's
nuts.
It
was like the first week of August, I remember. Yep.
We went and picked you up. I remember that.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Fucking nuts.
And then I remember we like afterwards you and I were sitting in like Bryce and
13 years, dude, and all this shit that we know like as of recently has all happened in the past 13 years. Like
that's what I think is the most crazy.
Blip.
Like I was trying to make this expression to Jarrell just last night because he'd gotten an achievement in WoW.
Yeah.
And when I opened it, it said you've completed this on like October 17th, 2010. And I was just trying to make a comment, like, isn't that crazy that, like, it's been 8 years practically? And he was just like...
It's kind of braggy.
He was like, I did it the first time in June, and I'm of 2010. I'm like, that's not what I'm trying to do. He's like, well, Demon Hunter just came out last year, so you're lying. I'm like, that's not what I'm trying to say.
My Karazhan Huntsman mount has a timestamp for the achievement of like 09.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like it's an OG horseman
right,
now.
exactly. But that's what's
hard.
Nuts.
It's still hard. It just as hard to get, but like I felt like it was harder because the content was relevant when I got it.
You needed a group of 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't walk in there and just kill the guy and walk out.
It's just crazy, like thinking about that. Well, even like I look at Bryceland, she's 5.
Yeah, that's a mind fuck to me. I remember the day we were over by Fab 42 and we like swung into some rando trailer and I can't remember. We were trying to figure out where we were going and Jordan's like, "Yo, man, let me talk to you for a second." I'm like, "What the fuck is this guy going on about?" He's like, "I'm gonna have a kid," and I'm just like, "What, dude?" Like, yeah, all right, you'll be all right.
Yeah, I think you told me last. That's how it worked.
Yeah, I was one of the first people. I'm pretty sure.
Super calm about it. And I thought you were like just joking.
Well, because what it was,
he was calm when he told you. He was not calm when he told me. He was like, "Oh shit, what the fuck?"
We were freaking out about it, and then like I remember when we found out. So we had our bed in our apartment, and like we were sitting there, and like we got the pregnancy test or whatever, and she like did it, and we were just sitting there, and I was like, "It's fine. You're probably not pregnant. Like it's probably fine." And like we put it, so like like the top of the toilet, it was sitting on that. We were sitting on the bed, and we were just like kind of like holding hands, like it's gonna be okay. Like regardless, like this isn't gonna change anything.
Yeah.
And then we go pick it up, and like we both just kind of look at each other, and I was just like, "Well." And we didn't know what to do. We found out like in the beginning of August, actually.
Yeah.
Because we got
around this time.
Oh,
yeah. Imagine that.
Yeah. 6 years ago. 6 years ago.
What a coincidence.
6 years ago.
All of these things we're bringing up happened around this time.
Yeah, August. Yeah.
Wow.
And so, but then like we like called we originally were just gonna go like to get her on my insurance. We were just gonna go to the courthouse and just like get married and whatever. Yeah. But then like I can't remember who it was, if it was my sister Jill or her mom or something, was like, "You guys should try to do something." And so like I called my whole family. I was like, "Hey, we're gonna get married. Do you guys want to come to this?"
Yeah, 2 days before the wedding.
And so like what?
Yeah, check this out.
I think that's like how Jarrell found out, because like family started showing up. He's like, "What are you guys doing here?" He thought they were there for his birthday.
And then like Derek showed up at your house and just got an invite, like by default,
because he was like not gonna leave. He was just like hanging out.
And then I never got an invitation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
No, that is one thing that like looking, but in the moment, you have to understand.
It's like one of the first people he tells about this, but I didn't get an invite to the shotgun wedding.
Well, but here's the thing, and there's no justification for it. It was
no, dude, you were in a crazy state of mind. You just found out you're gonna be having a kid,
right? And at that time,
people can't understand that shit. Like
I still felt like a kid. Like,
yeah,
in some regards, I still do. Like,
I mean, I am.
My daughter will say things sometimes that are like,
"Look at my shirt. I'm a man. It glows in the dark." By the way, who wears glow in the dark shirts?
The only reason why you got it. You're like, "Oh wow!" You're like sitting there,
it's
like
a Cheshire cat that glows in the dark. Dude.
It's actually a pretty sweet
shirt. It's super badass.
But like my daughter will say things sometimes. So she does this thing where she says like "okie dokie megaloki," but she'll always like mess it up like on purpose, like intentionally. So she like the other day she goes like "okie dokie fagaloki," and like not thinking of it. So like I make eye contact with my wife and I'm just like not trying to laugh because she doesn't know any better. But I was just like, that's how much of a child I am. I'm like, oh, she just said that.
I mean, I can't say much. There's constant fart noises being made in my house.
Yeah.
Just all the time. We're either like mocking Luna for farting or just like making fart noises because they're funny.
They're funny.
They're funny.
It's so silly. And like I don't know if I've said this before, but I used to have this thing like when I was younger, like a teenager even. I used to look at like my uncles and stuff and be like, wow, they're like adults. Like, I don't know what that's going to be like when I'm an adult.
Yeah.
And now like I'm in that adulting phase. I'm like, oh no, what it is
you're like the same age as your uncles were back then.
Right, when I was that age. Yeah. Exactly, when I was like in high school. I'm like, oh, they just have obligations and they're responsible, but they're still just as much of a child as I am.
I mean, my whole family are stoners basically.
Yeah.
Not my mom's side, my dad's side. Yeah, they smoke a lot of weed. And like I'm sitting here thinking as a kid, I remember the first time I caught my uncles smoking weed. I was like, walk in, and I'm a pothead at this time because I'm like 15. And I'm like, yo, man, you guys should probably put that reefer down and come back out here. They're like, what? I'm like, yeah, you can smell it outside the garage, you idiots.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm 15 and I know what you're doing.
Yeah, my grandma used to smoke cigarettes, and she used to hide it.
Which one?
my grandma Whitehead.
Whitehead.
Yeah.
Ooh. Really?
Yeah. She was like bad.
She smoked cigarettes
all the time. She just barely quit not that long ago. Well, I mean, it's probably 5 years ago. Yeah,
probably longer than that.
Maybe, but it's been recently, not like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But I remember like all the time in high school, she would go out back, and like in the wintertime, it was the best.
Are they not LDS?
They're hardcore LDS.
That's so weird to me.
That's why she kept it a secret.
Yeah.
It was like she like exactly. It was like can't get caught by the Mormon police. Gonna get a Mormon ticket.
Yep.
That's it. And then they make you serve at the temple. It's slave labor.
Yep.
But
pay your tithing.
Yeah. And so like we'd wait until she like inhaled. So she'd like take and inhale. And then we'd be really loud coming around the corner. And then she'd like be like instantly behind her. Hey kids, what are you doing out here? Like holding her breath in. And then she'd be like, oh, it's cold. Like as all the smoke comes out. Or we're just like, yeah, Grandma, it's like 70 degrees. It's pretty cold out here.
She lives in Tucson, and it's like I know for a fact. I drove right past her house. Yeah, 110 degrees outside.
You can't see your breath. Yeah.
That's funny.
So it's pretty silly though how like
I think I knew she smoked, and I think I knew about this.
Yeah.
That's just funny to hear it again.
Right.
Because I haven't seen her in so long.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you'd want to see her.
Why?
Well, because of the whole Fox News thing.
Dude, do they still remember that?
They bring it up like...
Do they really?
Like, not like in a mean
An
way.
elephant never forgets.
Well, but the sad thing, though, is like my grandma, I don't think she has like Alzheimer's, but she
dementia
it's
or
like
something?
like it's early stages
onset.
of that. Because her short-term memory is like really getting bad. Like she'll tell me a story, and then as she's finishing it, she starts it again and not realizing it that she's saying, and it's pretty bad. But there are something like longer stuff that she just remembers no problem.
Yeah. So like your grandma has early onset dementia, and the one thing she always brings up is the Fox News comment.
There's a couple things she tells me all the time. When I was a newborn, I was afraid of snow, and we went to Big Bear, and I was standing in like the window like crying because I was afraid of snow.
Yeah.
She always asks, "Are you still friends with the Fox News guy?" I'm like, "Yeah,
the Fox News
friends
guy.
with Tyler, yeah, still talk to him,
still friends."
But like, she doesn't do it like mean.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's just the reference point,
right? And so there's like a couple things that she like always.
That's good. At
like
least she remembers me.
Yeah,
I feel special now.
Well, I don't know if it's a good thing that she remembers
you. Dude, you had to have been there, Jarrell. It was ridiculous because
awesome.
I didn't realize it all, and I'm sitting there like, yeah. One of the biggest problems
was Bill O'Reilly.
One of the biggest problems is people that listen to this fucking idiot. Basically, I didn't say fucking, but you know what I mean. Like people that watch Fox News are the problem with this country, right? And
so we're at dinner. Just like, at their table, but like I'm sitting across from Tyler and he's saying this and I'm just like eating like, oh, keep going.
Tell how you really feel.
And so
I do.
So grandma, she goes, what do you think is wrong with Fox News? And like it's a fine question, especially if you're like if you agree with that. It's like, oh, what's your opinion on that?
Yeah.
So
I let loose, man, and I start telling him, not realizing that like it never changes from that channel in that house.
Yeah. So after dinner, you go sit down.
Because I'm pretty sure I was saying stuff like, "Oh yeah, it's like brainwashed and it's all like one-sided and it's totally biased."
But it really was like everyone who watches it is a complete moron, and like all this stuff, and I'm sitting there dying, and he's just going on though. Like I'm like, okay, keep going, and then at the end of it. Grandma's still eating, you know. She's taking, and my grandpa's not saying anything. He's just eating.
Yeah.
Grandma's taking a bite. She's like, Fox News is the only channel we watch.
And I'm just like, oh.
It was so it was like the most
great.
awkward
because they let me go. Yeah. They set me up for failure.
Yeah,
for
sure. They knew they entrapped him.
They did.
100%.
They were like they turned it on the TV ahead of time, knowing that it was controversial.
Yeah, they baited him for sure.
This had to have been like right before. It was probably right around the time Obama was getting elected the first time. So Fox was like in Fox mode, you know? Like shit talking like nobody's business, fear mongering like nobody's business.
Yeah,
but
birth certificate
nowadays it's not just Fox; it's all those motherfuckers.
Yeah, it's whatever. And well, weren't we just talking about this? We were saying like you'll notice the swing. Like every 8 years, it just changes from Republican to Democrat, and that's where we are. We're
perfect.
In the other swing.
You just reminded me with the every 8 years comment of something I was telling Julie the other day about how everything works. So we always think like, oh, the president, he has so much power. Nobody understands that there's two other branches of government that keep checks and balances. Mm-hmm. But the things that the president does have an effect on, right? Mm-hmm. They're not immediate. They're not something that like, oh, one day flip a switch and there's change or whatever.
Right. Well, there can be.
Some things, but most of the things that are really impactful, you don't feel the effects of until years after they leave. So if they're on a 4-year term and they don't get reelected, you will feel the effects of all of their decisions in the following administration.
Right.
If they get reelected, it'll be in their second term that you feel all those effects. Mm-hmm. So what people don't understand is so during Obama's time, that dude didn't do shit.
No.
He like literally didn't do anything besides Obamacare. It was really like just occupied the space.
Business as usual.
Right. Same old.
We didn't get out of Afghanistan.
Obamacare. Just Obamacare was the only thing. And you kind of felt somewhat the immediate effects. I think Obamacare came from his first term too.
Yeah.
It was at the tail end, so it went into effect, and you felt like the impact of it during his second term, right? But most people think Obama is responsible for the relatively relaxed and like business as usual, like no ups, no downs, like steady, just a decent time for his first term. That wasn't him that did that. That's not him.
Yeah.
Everything that you feel right now is because of him. Mm-hmm. The after effects, it's like leaves a shockwave. Right. So if you go back, Bill Clinton, the 90s, it was rainbows and sunshines, like greatest time to be alive, in my opinion. 90s.
Yep.
Very little like international conflicts, small. You got done with like Desert Storm. And all these people attribute all this great success of the 90s to Bill Clinton. No. Bill Clinton, you felt when Bush was the president, when everything went to shit.
Yeah.
So Obama's first term is the second term of Bush is what you're feeling.
Right.
Like, and so when you're going back and you look at it that way, every Democratic president we've had in the past like 2 or 3 decades has been dog shit. And only the good Republican ones are the ones that bring like the prosperity, like the stints of prosperity, or where everything seems to be okay.
I definitely think that you're right. It takes time for what they want to do to implement as well. But more than that, which is more important that I feel, is that most of the time, like a lot of these debates that you're seeing now, like the big one, like gun control, you know,
that would be an immediate impact.
Well, but like the thing though with that is that it doesn't matter if you're Democrat or Republican. And like, so typically it's like you see Democrats are like, we need gun control. Republicans are like, no, don't take away our guns. And there's this huge conversation, and more so a fight that goes on between us.
It's never a conversation. It's always a fight.
Right. There's no civil conversation. Well, there are some, but for the most part, it's usually pretty bad.
Yeah.
But when you look at when like Congress has Democratic control, why don't they ever push through any sort of gun reform?
When it's like when it would go uncontested.
And the thing is that
with the
politicians will always say like whatever they need to say to get reelected, because that's a steady job for them.
100%.
So if they go and they say, hey, I want gun control, and they know that their constituents would vote them out, they're not going to say anything.
Oh yeah, no.
But if they know they'll vote them back in, they'll say it all day long. Once they're in there, though, then they're gonna be like, well, you know, we can't.
There's some things that came up.
We can't get the guys from the other side of the aisle to work with us.
Right, exactly.
But it's like
it's always the other side of the aisle,
and that's a perfect thing. So then what happens is that fuels the fire. Like, it's all you Republicans' fault. It's all you Democrats' fault. It's like, guys, this is just.
If we just gave this guy a chance, he could make some changes. We just got to get the other side of the aisle swapped out. And so those people end up losing in their next race. If they point the finger, that person probably ain't going to get reelected.
And you see that, though.
And
with
then they're
midterms,
like,
there's a swing of going from the different ones, but nothing changes.
And they're like, well, if we get him reelected again with the changes on the other side of the aisle, then maybe he'll be able to implement the changes that he promised us the first time around. It's like, no. You want the people that go in there and don't give a shit and battle for you, whether they win or lose, because they're not there to represent themselves or companies or anyone else but you, the person that you're sending.
But I think that's the problem, is that there's not many politicians, or when they do are the ones that represent you, they don't get the funding from like the parties because they don't want to throw off their like stability.
Yeah, that's the huge thing, is
because
funding.
How many Democrats get funding from like the NRA? You know, there's
probably none.
I would imagine
very few.
Maybe
very
now.
Few. The NRA is mainly going to put money in the pockets of Republicans.
Maybe now though, but if you look at like subsidiaries or sister companies or whatever, I guarantee you can find gun money in the Democrat like.
Oh
camp.
yeah.
Like I don't
just
think
like
it's
you
that,
can find telecommunications money in
That's what I'm saying.
In the Democratic Party as well.
They're all spreading. They're diversifying their investment.
Oh, definitely.
On both sides.
They come out millionaires.
Yeah,
which should never be the case.
No.
Because they don't make $1 million in their salary.
Right. Yeah, and
they get a pension for life.
It's ridiculous.
Did you know that?
Yeah.
They get a pension for life. Dude.
And some of these people, though, they've been in office for 40
They're
plus
literally
years.
no higher up the food chain. They're a government worker. And if you treat all government workers equally, they're no better than anybody that serves in the military. But military people, unless they do 20 years, don't get a pension.
Yep. Well, and that's why
I think it's like 1 or 2 terms qualifies.
That's
you for
why
a
someone
pension.
said, like, you know,
that's insane.
Congress people need to be making, like, what's the average household income in America? Is it like 36,000, 40,000, something like that?
Maybe even lower.
So Congress,
probably right around.
Congressmen need to be making 40,000 a year.
Yeah, see how
and they
feel.
need to be on Obamacare.
Yeah,
they need to have
100%.
Everything that they're putting into
you
law.
Voted in. You suffer the consequences.
Whatever you do for the American people is what you get, because you're representing the American people.
Yeah, and honestly,
why is it that
the IRS should take all their extra cash flow? You shouldn't be able to profit off your position. No, not at all.
Go to the deficit. Kick it back to the American people. Kick it back to the working class.
Yeah.
It says the average is 59.
I think that's pretty high. Guess what? We're in a crazy period of inflation right now, so that's definitely inflated.
Yeah.
That is not realistic. And
59?
Yeah.
Average household?
59,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, not everybody.
Is that Canadian?
No, U.S.
Is that pesos? I know we're close to Mexico, but
59.
Yeah, they're high. They're crazy. That's inflation for you right there.
Yeah.
Because that's not a real accurate figure.
Yeah,
I guarantee you.
It's now the highest income.
Well, so back to what you were saying
that's
too
what
about
they'll do, though.
immediate...
They'll point that out. The average median household income is higher than it's ever been. Yeah, because of inflation.
Right. Well, but that's what I was going to say. This guy I work with says that if you want to look at how the president's doing in his term, because things take time, is gas prices. And I can't remember what the other one was.
Sorry, that was Fox News.
Little skewed.
Says it's at 30.
They're
35.
all about
35.
Bolstering the prosperity of Americans.
But
load of shit.
But gas prices is usually a direct representation of how things are going.
No, I'll tell you why. It's not. Because we hoard all of our gas.
Right.
If we wanted it to, we could have gas at like 50 cents a gallon.
Sure.
Because we have reservoirs in the middle of nowhere that people just drive like gas trucks out into the middle of the desert in Nevada and Utah and shit and dump oil into the ground. Man-made reservoirs. And then we just found the world's largest reservoir, period, has more oil than all humans have ever consumed in the history of mankind inside of it.
Isn't that in California?
No, it's like in Colorado. It's like somewhere around the Four Corners. Okay. It's pretty close to here. Not too far away, but yeah, they drilled deep and found a reservoir of oil with more oil, estimated to have more oil than humans have ever consumed in the history of mankind.
Wow.
Which is an insane amount.
Well, but I think
untapped, unrefined.
I can understand like some of that.
We're bleeding everyone else dry. So that's the thing.
We're buying everyone else's resources.
Bleeding them all dry. And when they run out or they get scarce, then we'll start using our own.
Yeah.
And we'll actually sell them our oil. We'll provide oil to the rest of the world, and then we'll in turn become the richest country in the world again.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah,
if we do export oil.
It's pretty insane though, just like with that like oil consumption though in general, how it's,
which is stupid because we shouldn't even be consuming near as much oil as we do.
That's what I mean. It's like with all these other alternative methods of energy,
it's dumb.
It's like, why are we still focusing on? And I don't get why it's
jobs
still,
are tied to oil,
but not even that many.
Like, you don't think so? Yeah, you're right. And they could probably learn how to like integrate into the new system
with the money.
We've talked about that before.
Yeah, we have. But with the money that you could save or generate, even, you could train these individuals to do that. And that's all about human nature. I mean, we adapt, we evolve.
Some people don't want to adapt. Some people fear change.
And I get that.
They spend all that time learning how to run an oil refinery in like some vocational school or something, and they excelled at it. They found their niche thing that they can actually be worth something in the world, you know, and that's their source of income. That's how they feed their family and fucking pay for their house and shit.
Right.
And it's a big gamble, even if you just are switching to an alternate thing, going from oil to like solar or wind or something like that, or like you're going to build a dam for turbines
or algae or something. Like we've seen those going up now that they're getting oil from algae. Like,
would you quit your job and go do that if it paid the same, and go learn something completely new?
If it
would
was
you take that gamble?
If it was that this is the future, your job is going to be obsolete in the next 10 years.
You're the wrong person to ask.
I would 100% jump on that. But here's the thing, though, is that oil doesn't necessarily, it's not going to go away.
No.
So you go and if you have 100 people that are working at an oil rig, you say, hey, guys, we need to get our staff down to like bare bones, just keeping the thing operational, which we determined to say 25 people.
Right.
We need either 75 volunteers that want to go through this training program to learn how to do solar, because we're going to start investing our money as a business. We want to stay in business in the future in this solar stuff. We figure you guys have been here, you guys have been loyal, we want to train you guys. Who's interested? I'm pretty confident you'll get 3 out of 4 people that'll be like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And you'll have those holdouts, and they'll be like, I want to be one of the ones works on the oil rig.
Yeah, tough shit.
And then from there, if they don't, then they get laid off. And guess what? Then they're forced to go to school.
Yeah.
Or go get training to go do something else.
But I also don't want to pay for their reschooling.
No, but
their company should have to pay for that.
But that's what I'm saying. The
companies should subsidize their workers' education.
And I think, though, if that's how it was approached at first, because that's what it just always blown my mind with like some of these like Shell or Exxon or something.
Yeah.
Why have they not been investing in other avenues of energy? Like they put all their eggs in the oil
basket, man.
And it's like, do you know how like unstable that is?
I mean, it's not when
it's not right now.
It wasn't,
for sure.
Well, listen, it wasn't when they started.
Yeah.
And they went how many years?
Right.
Almost a fucking 100.
Yeah.
Before.
It's very true.
Before it's become irrelevant.
But
so
that means
if you've been doing the same thing for 100 years and it's made you all that money.
But I would imagine like management has changed in that time.
Yeah, but these people that run these companies indoctrinate. They tailor the people that are gonna succeed them,
right?
Like to run the company without a hitch. Like you don't even know when this dude decides to retire as the CEO of Exxon. He's groomed his replacement for at least a decade to just come in the same thing and just keep it going.
Yeah, and I can understand that too. But it's also
why reinvent the wheel.
But it's also a publicly traded company. So you have your board of directors, which you would think that they would.
Those dudes, they're all obsessed with money. Money's
but that's
the
what
thing.
I'm saying.
Infinite growth.
If you can, there is no such thing as infinite.
Yeah,
growth.
well, that in their minds there is, and the profits and revenue.
Like as a perfect example, you look at like Apple, for example. And Apple, as much as I don't like the iPhone, as a company, they make a lot of really good business decisions. And what I mean by that is they started selling computers. And then they got into the iPhone and they were really taking off. So what did they do with that money? Did they like just say, we're just going to only sell phones now? They started a service business that has seen the most growth of any other part of it. I think it was up 34% this year. And that's Apple Pay, that's iTunes Store, or App Store, whatever the case may be. They've been diverse. So they still sell computers.
Yeah.
That's how they started. They still sell Macs, iMacs, MacBooks, whatever.
Now they sell phones, music devices,
tablets, music devices, home devices.
And then the services.
And the services and
iTunes.
stuff. And I think
Store.
like they're seeing that if we just sold computers, like if you look at just their Mac department, they wouldn't be where they are now as a company.
No, not at all.
They would
they
barely
diversify.
Right, exactly.
Their portfolio of stuff.
Absolutely.
Just like Samsung, how they make tanks.
Yep. Microsoft is another good example.
Microsoft dog shit.
Well, Microsoft is like, they're on track though to be like one of the first companies to reach a value of $1 trillion.
So back up a minute, because back to Apple, they just actually hit $1 trillion value today.
Oh, okay.
Wow. Fuck Apple.
But that's crazy though.
It is crazy. That's just a shit ton of mindless plebeians in the world that don't know shit about anything.
Right. But that's when you have 7.5 billion people.
That's why, that's the roadblock. That's the roadblock right there. Is
because
when you have, that's stifling innovation.
You think
that's why I hate Apple. They stifle innovation. They make everything for their devices is all proprietary. Yep. It's no different. It's just they add their own little thing onto it that makes it proprietary, so it won't fit in the slot unless it's modified to fit in their slot.
Well, most of their computers and stuff is soldered on.
Right, exactly.
So you can't
remove it. Yep. If you open the case, you void the warranty.
Well, that's like true for everything, though.
It is, but it's not at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I opened the back of my new Asus and put in an M.2, and I didn't void the warranty on it.
Right.
It popped up, got a card and slid it open and popped it open and put it in. And
well, but I think that, I don't know, I would say that it's I can see how maybe
do that with the
it
Mac.
stifles innovation.
Can you do that with the Mac? Can you pop off the back and just stick an M.2 that you bought for $200?
You cannot. No, but my iMac, you can change out the RAM.
Yeah, the RAM. Mine doesn't even have. I open the back and there's empty RAM slots for expansion. It already has 32 gigs of RAM and there's empty RAM slots back there. Whoop-de-fucking-do. I put an M.2 in that bitch.
Yeah.
Now it's fire.
Yeah.
Yeah. Western Digital 1 terabyte M.2 for $200.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really good.
It was really good. It was so good that I bought it in 5 seconds. I was like, let me go and look.
Was that a Prime Day thing?
No. It was like around that time, but it wasn't a Prime Day thing, I don't think. But I went on there like, oh, let me check this out. I need an M.2 for this laptop because this hybrid drive was horseshit.
Suck.
It was terrible. And I think it was trying to do some kind of paging thing where it like caches and like it apparently runs better when it has all that stuff cached. But yeah,
well, but
I'm not going to wait around.
It probably only has like a 32 gig or 64 gig cache drive.
Yeah.
So you're very limited to what it can even do.
So it was loading stuff really slow.
Yeah.
It was just awful.
The days of the mechanical drives.
I went on Amazon and I was just like, let me check out these M.2s, and I pulled it up and I was like, all right, I want a 1 terabyte, and I'm sitting there thinking it's probably going to be $400 at least for like a Samsung, and then this like Western Digital popped up and it was like $199, and I'm just like, for a 1 terabyte, like reading the reviews, and I'm like, this is legit. Like, I trust Western Digital. They're pretty good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't consider them like top tier.
Right. They're not
but they're not bottom of the barrel either.
Yeah.
For $200 for a 1 terabyte, sold. If it burns out in a year or two, I'll just get another one.
Who cares?
At that point, I'll get a Samsung 1 terabyte for the same price.
Right, because their technology will advance. But I think that's also another good thing with like Western Digital.
Can't do any of that with Apple.
They're a mechanical drive manufacturer. They have been. They were very slow to make the change to SSDs and M.2s and stuff.
But those are the trustworthy companies.
But they have the foundation, you know, like they have the backbone. But I will say, like, you're right. Apple, I don't like how, that's why I would never have an iPhone. I like customizing my phone, even if it's just as simple as installing a launcher, changing my icon pack around.
Right.
You can't do that on Apple. That's why I'll never have an iPhone. But you have to give credit to the fact that they can see the changing of tides.
They're just really good at marketing.
Adapt.
Marketing to the public. That's it. No, like I said, the reason I think they're stifling innovation is because all their shit's proprietary, right? Nothing's overly fancy. Like, it's not better. Like, if I bought the equivalent of my PC in a Mac, it would be $3,000 more for the Mac than my PC.
Well, not necessarily,
and my PC
but I hear what you're saying. Because
it's probably one of the best money can buy.
Because the thing is like your graphics card compatibility doesn't translate over because it's a laptop. So their laptop brand and like their MacBook Pros, their graphics card doesn't even go up that high. Like it's stopped much lower than that.
No, I'm just talking about in their desktop things that they have.
Right.
They're like
but
all-in-ones
still, like,
and
if
shit
you
that you can upgrade to like crazy.
So
you put a 1080 Ti in that sucker with 16 gigs of RAM and an i7 or an i9 for that matter. Yeah, you're talking like $4,000.
But someone did a comparison because I agree with this. The price difference is there. It's not thousands of dollars difference if you're talking about desktop parts, because when you take into account the panel, so if you were to buy like an IPS 4K panel or 5K panel that they use on the iMacs, you're looking at $1,000 to $1,500 for the same quality one of that anyway. So when you remove that from the cost, the price difference is only a couple $100, which is still there. But it's just when you have to take into account
even
the
if
panel.
I add both my monitors, I feel like it's still cheaper.
Right. But if you had
are they really that much better than the monitors that I have or the monitors that you have?
Not necessarily, but again, my IMAX monitor is a really high quality one. But my monitors were also an additional cost. So
I'm saying you lump it all together, like the whole PC setup, peripherals and everything.
Yeah.
I would be hard pressed to hit $4,000 for everything. That's a shitload of money. That's
about what mine was.
That is the best money can buy in the PC world. And you can go buy a $10,000 Apple.
Yeah. I do think that
has nothing better. Nothing in it is better. Look it up. What's the best custom Apple computer you can buy?
It's probably like $10,000.
And I guarantee if we part for part built the exact same thing in a PC, it would be $2,000 in difference. Guaranteed. Minimum.
I don't think
that's insane.
I think if you're right, if you go the top spec one.
Yep.
But again, but people usually don't go for the top.
Even go put in Titans. But it scales all the if that's
it doesn't though. That's what I'm trying to tell you, because someone did a price comparison that it was if you did part for part of like one of their mid-grade, I think it was a $2,700 iMac, and it was a $1,600 computer, and if you took into consideration the price of the monitor, like the same panel that they used, it was only like $150 difference in price.
So cut out the price and let's just do. What's the average person? What does the average person need a $2,700 laptop for?
Yeah,
when
don't.
$1,000 laptop's more than enough.
I agree with you there. That is one thing that does upset me. So
like
the laptop
gouging.
version, a $2,700 laptop is, especially from Macs, it's really only good for like small rendering and checking your email.
People know how to use.
You could buy a $500
Mac OS
PC.
I don't even know how to fucking use Mac OS, dude. It's so alien and foreign.
It's foreign, but again, just like you said, everything's proprietary and like locked down. You can't customize it. It's very simple to use. It's very easy to use.
That's why they're stifling innovation. Everything is simple. You're bringing technology down to the lowest common denominator, which is a bunch of retards.
They're herding cattle, if you will.
Yeah. And when everyone is cattle, they buy into this bullshit.
I'm just saying, that's why I said they're business decisions.
If everyone was buying the other products, the alternative, the PC type stuff that's open and open source and not proprietary and not robbing you of stuff, you would fuel that market, and that's the market that's innovating. Apple's not R&Ding anything.
They are, but they
buy
R&D
pieces from everyone else and they put it all together and they call it their own and they modify it or solder it onto the board so it's proprietary. So it used to be open source and now it's not.
They definitely R&D with like their A series of processors for their iPhones.
Whoopty fucking do.
But to be fair, it's an ARM
better
than ARM architecture.
Yeah.
They just take and
they steal essentially.
Yeah, they definitely steal.
Yeah,
they've done that before. But what I was saying, just as a business thing, they can see.
That's why you should never trust Apple. By the way,
you could see that they make smart decisions.
I don't know why this guy's still making a case.
If you bought stock in Apple like 10 years ago and you held on to it, you'd be making a lot of money right now. That's all I'm saying.
Having stock options and buying their products are two different things.
I've been saying I can buy into their business from their business perspective.
I mean, if you're a smart investor, that's a no-brainer. No, I'm just saying.
I'm not saying their products are good. I just said I never would use an iPhone. All I said was from the business standpoint.
They just piss me off, man. They get under my skin.
You're getting very aggressive right now.
They get under my skin, man, because they're the biggest fucking scam artists.
Yeah.
And I'm hearing you try and tell me that they're
from
not.
From a business decision.
Fuck yeah.
They make good business. So if you're investing in Apple,
you know,
it's a good
like
business
these people that go out and do the Wall Street protests and shit.
Yeah.
Probably had fucking iPhones and like literally Apple is like
that's my favorite.
The creme de la creme of like investment opportunities.
Like talking like we're protesting these corporations and they're on like their $1,000 phone, their iWatch.
Yeah,
they have a MacBook.
Bunch of hipsters.
I'm posting on my blog about how evil this company is.
Right.
On my iMac. Did you see
my
Mac?
Got to have that apple that lights up on the back so everyone knows.
And it's like you'd realize that you're actually part of the problem.
Fuckers, man.
You're actually the problem.
I hate them.
You're not part of the
mass genocide is okay in my opinion in that case. Just Thanos those motherfuckers. Just Thanos them, dude. God. Bane.
That's what I really like to just take a step back a little bit. That's one of my favorite things about that movie is you really do start to care for Thanos. And you can start to see like, you know, he's got a good point.
Kind of relatable.
He's like too many mouths to feed.
Somebody just needs to make a stand and do the hard decision. Make that command decision.
He's even like, I came to them and told them this is what was going to happen. When it came to pass, you know, I just sat there like whatever. He's like, oh, so you're a prophet now? He's like, I'm not a prophet. He's like, I never said that. I'm just saying that we cannot feed these people in this universe. And I was just like, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
You know, but then you're like, but I want Iron Man to win. It's
right.
You feel stuff, but with DC, you're just like, I don't care about this.
Well, you know,
like, have you seen the new Aquaman trailer?
It looks pretty good.
It looked really good. But then afterwards, I was like, it's DC, though. So
I'm going to...
It's probably going to... He's probably going to go, Martha. Like,
I got this...
Why did you say that name?
I got the
like
same
they're going to fight under the water, and she's going to be like, Martha.
So... Just think of that Family Guy episode where he's just like, hey, why don't you come in the water and I'll kick your ass?
Yeah. This lady's getting mugged on a beach, and he's like, hey, stop that. He's like, no. He's like, don't make me come out there. And it's Aquaman.
Yeah.
He's like, that's it. I'm going to send for help. And some fish come up next to him. Like, what are they going to do?
So when I watched that trailer, the feel of that trailer and like the look and everything of it, it made me think of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And that's a good thing.
You're right.
So I have...
98% of Wonder Woman was good.
I have pretty
Last
good...
2%?
I have decent expectations of it. Based off of how much it felt like Wonder Woman and how much Wonder Woman was a success and was actually pretty good. It was the first good DC movie. I'll give them that.
Well, except from like the Batman.
Those aren't the same thing. It's a different universe.
Yeah.
One's Dark Knight universe and the other one's
those ones are good.
I don't
those
even know.
Good.
Yeah, the Dark Knight trilogy is the greatest. Heath Ledger is the greatest Joker of all time, hands down.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Did you hear they're making like a Jared Leto Joker movie?
Jared Leto has already been the Joker.
Yeah, but they're making one like... I don't know. I heard
from the Suicide Squad Joker. Yeah, but then did you hear who's replacing him as the Joker? Because Jared Leto is going to be a Marvel character.
Was it Joaquin Phoenix?
Who's he going to be?
Joaquin Phoenix will be the new Joker.
Okay, that'll probably be pretty.
Which good. He's a villain, man.
Yeah.
And did you ever see Joaquin Phoenix's like mockumentary about how he was going to become a rapper?
No.
It's a really look it up. It's really strange and bizarre.
Yeah.
He like literally does this like mockumentary thing. Where he's like going to gigs and like getting up there and like trying to rap and shit and like start a rap career. And it's funny. All a joke.
Yeah.
But like it's so well done that you almost think Joaquin Phoenix was dead serious about becoming a rapper.
Funny. I've seen a couple things where he's taken things like serious and he was joking, but he was so in character.
Right?
Yeah. I could
he's really good. And then he's got a special place in my heart
who's
from
Jared Leto
Gladiator.
In, Marvel?
Morbius. The vampire.
I don't know who that is.
So
I don't like Jared Leto though.
Really?
Yeah.
You're the only person. How dare you?
I don't think so. I think there's a lot of people that don't like Jared Leto.
Great. Why?
Because he's just like an asshole.
What?
Yeah.
Where have you? Why do I not think this? I know everybody that's an asshole.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you're like, we got a club. I know all of our members.
Yeah.
Everything I've just heard is that he was like.
So you heard it through the grapevine.
Through
Haven't
Twitter.
Done your own research.
Through Twitter. So it's
what did he
accurate.
do? What did he do that made him an asshole? I'll be the judge of this assholeness.
Just like he's not a good guy to work with. Like he's very like kind of he's. I don't know
talking about the people and their reactions to his shenanigans as the Joker on the set of Suicide Squad.
But I feel like there's no respect for your co-stars. Like, I get that you're a method actor, but you have to draw a line somewhere, and that you're not really this crazy guy.
No.
Because if you're doing stuff that's illegal or harassing people,
whole hog into that shit, or
you never go full retard.
That's probably why Suicide Squad sucked dick.
It's because he went full retard.
It's because he was the only one that went full momentum into the role, and everyone else half-assed it.
In fact, his representation of Joker in Suicide Squad was actually one of the worst aspects of Suicide Squad.
No one knows that Joker. That's why you say that. But it's a different DC universe.
Oh, so it's like
correct.
There is one like
and
that.
There is one like that where that is the way that the Joker is in that universe.
Okay.
Like it's a different Joker than any Joker you've ever seen before.
Yeah.
So you either like it or you hate it. If you didn't like it, then you probably wouldn't like that universe of the comics for DC.
Yeah, because I mean, even like the cartoon one
whereas Joaquin Phoenix is going to be a different Joker
in the same universe.
No, different movie. So
that's what's confusing too. With the
what will happen is Suicide Squad will happen, and that will have Jared Leto still because he's that Joker. But the next Joker thing will be Joaquin Phoenix.
I see.
And it won't be Suicide Squad.
Okay.
Because that wouldn't make any sense. And then that cues Jared Leto's departure from DC. And once you enter into the Marvel universe, you are owned by Disney, period.
Right.
They were talking about the extracurriculars of like being a Disney employee for Marvel, like all these superheroes. You have to be a superhero on and off the screen.
Yeah.
You have to go to hospitals and do visits. You have to dress up. You're on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week until they tell you you're not on call for reshoots.
Right.
So like what's Heimdall?
Idris Elba
was filming another movie in Africa about Nelson Mandela and had a reshoot for one of his scenes in Thor Ragnarok. And he had to go back, drop everything he was doing for the one movie because Disney literally
they're pretty
owns
hardcore
him.
About that.
But they take care of them.
Yeah.
I mean,
and
if they didn't,
really good
and
movies.
If they weren't really good movies and the people didn't enjoy doing it, and didn't enjoy being a superhero off screen, they would quit.
Yeah.
When their contracts are up.
And everyone
fucking renews.
Yeah.
No one wants to be phased out of the DC or the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
It's because it's too big.
No, like they're all gonna go bye-bye.
Well, like Robert Downey, he's out.
Yeah.
His last movie is the next event, and I think Captain America too.
Captain America. Thor is up.
But Thor is
up
such
in the
like
air.
After watching Infinity, because we saw it twice in theaters and we just watched it again. He's such a badass.
He is a badass. I mean, he's a god.
I know, but he's not. Cause
he is.
He's Asgardian. He's Asgardian.
Asgardian. Yeah, we were saying that he's like the MVP.
Yeah, he was definitely MVP.
So
he could have he could have one man that. He could have soloed Thanos if he wanted to, and he practically did. He didn't show up till everyone else was dead.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, that means Jared
Spoiler alert.
Jared Leto signed up to be. That's his life, and he'll be Morbius, who's a vampire. You might remember him. Did you ever watch the animated cartoon series of X-Men?
No.
Pull up a picture of Morbius and show Jordan.
I'm not that big of a nerd.
Bro, get the fuck out of here. What kind of childhood did you live if you never saw X-Men?
Not a good one. My parents had
series?
a pretty brutal divorce, actually.
Man, same here. Join the club.
Yeah. It was Dragon Ball Z for me, okay?
I also watched Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, jeez, that's creepy.
Yeah, he's a vampire. But he's not really a vampire because he needs blood to, like, sustain himself, but he doesn't, like, drink it like a vampire, and he doesn't have, like, vampiric roots. It's like a some kind of, like, experimental
like
failure thing
vampire.
Or something like that. No, like, more like science vampire. Science made him a vampire.
Yeah.
But
does he sparkle in the sunlight?
What is he going to be? I think he's getting his own standalone movie. Does he make Kristen
Stewart bite her bottom lip?
He's going to get his own standalone movie, for one, to introduce him to the universe.
I was going to star him.
And then he will be in probably like the new Avengers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
or
what's weird is I don't know anything about the movies after. I know Captain Marvel, and then I knew the next Avengers, and that's it. I don't know the next.
So like now that Disney And the deal with Fox is all done.
Not yet.
Oh, it's done. It's basically done.
It's all but
the
done.
only thing they didn't get.
Deadpool.
The one thing they didn't
An
want.
Avenger.
The one thing they didn't want was like the Fox News and I think the sports.
No, that wasn't part of FX Studios.
That's what I mean. They didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't get those.
It's only
Disney.
FX, right.
Disney didn't get those. They got
FX Studios.
Yeah, FX the TV.
So that's like
channel.
Simpsons. That's Family Guy.
Right. So they got the
Which
TV
is weird
channel.
to think about. Family
well, you
Guy
got to
would not
break
be a
it down.
Disney.
You got to break Fox down into its different segments, though, because it has like Fox Movie Studios, 21st Century Fox.
Right.
Then it has the FX TV channel.
But FX is part of the 21st Century Fox.
Correct.
Yeah.
But they like Fox News and Fox Sports are not a part of that.
Right.
They fell under the same conglomerate, but when it came time to cash it out and sell it all,
I see. They
like
separated
those
out or whatever.
those pieces didn't get sold
But
off.
I thought they weren't finalized yet. They were still having board of directors
Pretty
talks
sure
for
that the
approvals
only
and stuff.
things that Disney didn't get was Fox Sports and Fox News, and I don't think they wanted them.
No, I don't think so either.
But they wanted everything else.
But that's pretty crazy that like Simpsons is now like, if it goes through, if it's final, Disney.
It is, and they're not going to
Simpsons.
touch anything.
No, I know they're not going to change
Yeah,
it,
they
but
don't-
still, like, and that's how they do it. You know, even with Marvel and Lucas films, you know,
Yeah.
like they don't really have a huge
Well, let's talk about that. They need to fire that bitch.
the Lucas person.
We
Yeah.
talked about that.
We talked about it last time.
Yeah, they need to fire her.
So because you said you hadn't seen Solo because you were boycotting.
Yeah, I'm definitely not watching it until it's free
Yeah, and then
online to download or stream.
I don't know about the next Star Wars movie either. Like I'm already hesitant.
I'm going to be honest with you. At this point, with the 2 movies out of the 3 in the new trilogy,
Yeah, there's nothing you
right
can really
now,
do.
they're 0 for 2.
Even if it,
And that
even
makes
if it was
them...
like Avengers Infinity War quality, it still would be like,
Dude,
too little, too
that
late.
makes them less than 1, 2, 3, which is horrible. Because the only shitty thing that 1, 2, and 3 had going for it was 1.
Jar Jar.
Jar Jar, and if you cut out episode 1, he's like in the remaining
background.
2 movies for like 10 minutes
and
total.
two, they
if that.
very underutilized Darth Maul.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Dude,
I feel like that movie could have been, it had potential. Like going back and rewatching it, remove midichlorians, don't have him talking to the backside of a
Yeah.
Gillette razor as like a transponder
Right.
thing. Like don't do
Yeah.
that. You're a freaking Star Wars movie. You have a budget.
Yeah.
here.
Get
Do
rid of the pod
CGI.
racing.
Yeah, get rid of the pod, or make it, or do it, but have it like, you get there, he's like, hey, I'm on my way to the pod race. Okay, if you win, can we have your money? It's like, sure. Then he
Yeah.
wins, and they're like, all right, let's go do something else now.
Right.
Like, don't make it 2/3 of the movie.
Yeah.
No one cares about
No.
the little boy from whatever.
No.
Darth
He's
Vader.
Darth Vader, bro. Like, we already know. Everyone already knows
He's
that
not
he's
Darth Vader, though, because it's like some crappy little kid. Like, that's not even Anakin as a, like, when you picture Darth Vader as a kid, you still picture like little helmet, little lightsaber. You know what I mean? Like you don't go from like that little.
No, that's the importance of that part of the story.
That's
though.
not important.
Well,
It didn't humanize him at all.
He needed to watch it because he clearly doesn't understand that that's Darth Vader.
No, I get that it's Darth Vader. It's
He
just it's
doesn't
not
get it.
my Darth Vader.
It's to show
Hashtag
like
not my Vader.
it's to show the swing and how powerful the dark side is. That it can take this innocent kid,
But they did
that
a
was good, that just
terrible
wanted to
job
help his
at that.
mom out and shit. And
Didn't
then
want to
later
that
on,
bad.
20, 30 years
10
down the
years without
road,
coming back to see his mom. It wasn't until he's like, "Hey, I'm
his
stranded
mom
with the princess
died,
on
man. He
Tatooine.
can't go back and see her. She's dead.
I guess I should go look at my mom now that we're here.
Bro.
I've been a Jedi for 10 years, but
Oh
I
my
guess I'm
gosh.
just gonna visit her now."
Speaking of like lore and shit, I
really like that voice.
I was
know what it is.
watching.
That's like my Star Wars nerd voice.
I was watching YouTube last night, and a random video like popped into the queue, and it was this. Was he there when you guys were there? BlizzCon, red shirt.
Oh, the red shirt guy.
Red shirt guy. I
Yeah.
never knew about this guy.
He like asked a story question that they completely.
So fucking cringy though,
Yeah.
man.
Oh, it's.
Oh, so cringe.
Yeah.
Red shirt guy?
But he comes back every year in the
Yep.
same
In the
fucking
same
red polo.
shirt. He's actually. They've made him a character in.
Yeah.
WoW.
So he thanked him the second time he came around.
Yeah.
In the clip.
The first one was so bad, but it was
Oh.
like just a small little story detail that they
Dude,
missed. or
we'll
whatever.
fix that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good point. We'll fix that.
Like, who the fuck is this kid?
Yeah.
Kid, get a life. You You're too deep into this.
You're a nerd.
You're Dungeons and Dragons
when,
level of World of Warcraft.
When you're a red shirt guy, that's when it's like, okay, you're a nerd. Like that's when adulting doesn't really matter.
Well, you need to
like,
reprioritize your
red shirt
shit in life, because if your concern is to go to BlizzCon and talk to the story developers of Blizzard and inform them that they fucked up on an insignificant quest line somewhere that only you were invested in. Like,
well, I'm half tempted to go to BlizzCon and tell them that they messed up a storyline, but it's a pretty big storyline.
What storyline?
Sylvanas.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
It's not good character development. It's Grosh 2.0. It's the stupidest thing.
Except it's worse. I mean,
Garrosh didn't do anything. He's innocent.
Exactly. Sylvanas did.
Yeah.
Garrosh was just trying to do what Thrall told him to do.
The green pickle just messed it all up.
Dude. Fucking Thrall, man.
The green pickle.
Thrall was the bad guy of WoD.
Yeah.
He was. He abandoned the Horde.
Yep.
And
it's like, I'm just going to live here in Negran.
Turned Garrosh into the enemy. And then, when they fucking dueled, orc style, Thrall fucking cheated. Because you're not allowed to fucking use magic.
Yeah.
Dude, Garrosh got fucked over, man.
Yeah.
He did. He got fucked over.
But I think that whole, because it's like that they tried to do like they're putting the war back in Warcraft in Mist of Pandaria, and then it was like, okay, we're gonna go stop Garrosh. Siege of Orgrimmar was a raid, so now it's gonna be Siege of Undercity. You know, that's gonna be the new raid. What are they gonna do?
You can go look it up already. They already have them in the adventure guide, all the raids and dungeons.
Not the last one though. Typically, they'll come in patches
you mean
in
the patches to come? Yeah, but
I mean, even still, it's like at this point, I don't. It's not. It's not my war chief. Like I don't want to do that. Like,
you don't like Sylvanas?
Not anymore. Not how they turned her into this. Like, because here's the problem.
What are you, anti-bad guy?
No, I'm not. I'm anti-poor story writing. The thing is she's going let's go take over.
She just did what everyone else wanted.
Oh yeah, spoiler alert. But let's go take over the tree, and then some dying random night elf is just like, you'll never destroy hope. It's like, won't I? Burn it down.
I mean,
like that's the stupidest thing. No, it's not baller. No, you're just trying to find reasons.
Light that bitch on fire. Yeah. Burn the tree down.
No, it's
why is
it's. Just,
I mean,
if you look at her,
why would she not burn it for one?
Because the whole plan was to go secure it, so they could keep their Azerite there, because the Alliance would never attack their own city.
We'll find a new place to store Azerite, bro.
Right. Way to make a decision on the fly.
I mean, command decision. Yeah. Somebody's got to be war chief.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if it would have, like, if they could have done the story much better, if like her intent was to burn it down, I would have been fine with it. But the fact that she was taunted into doing it,
I don't think she was taunted. I think.
What do you mean?
I think she was.
She literally says, "You'll never destroy hope," and it's like, and she's like, "Won't I?" And she looks over at the tree. She's like, burn it down." Like that's literally how it happened. She was taunted into burning down the tree.
No, she was just being spiteful to a dying piece of shit.
A much better story was like they were going to go take it.
Bunch of A-side night elves,
and
dude. Burn their home down. Or I'll show you to live in a tree.
And is like, hey, I'm going to start this on fire to start this war. And they go, whoa, whoa, whoa. We didn't burn it down. But Anduin at that point won't listen. And so that would have been a much better story arc. And it could have been something they'd never really done before. Make Alliance the bad guys for a change. You know?
I'm okay with them being the good guys, man. I like being a part of the bad guys.
I don't know. I just feel like it's the same.
You want to be a good guy.
I don't want to be a good guy.
That's all I'm hearing right now.
Well, here's the thing.
I mean, you just said
the way they set it up was that there's no good guy and bad guy in WoW, right? It's like you have these two factions, and like the Horde, they just want to live their life. The Alliance, they want to live their life, and they always clash on things because they want to do things differently.
Dude. Sylvanas and the Undead and the Forsaken, they're bad guys.
Right, but when? Since when?
Since Arthas.
Yeah.
No, but they were bad guys when they were bad guys when they were under Arthas' control.
They're bad guys.
I don't know. I feel like it's just
Arthas did something that we don't know about to Sylvanas
when he stabbed her with his sword,
and
when she slid.
Yeah,
into
like
his
when
sword.
she turned into the Banshee Queen, and then she's on this secret quest to like. I think she wants to become a Valkyr.
She wants to destroy all life.
She wants to become a Valkyr.
Which is like, even if she wanted to do that, then you would think like the orcs, the Tauren, or the trolls or whatever.
Why was she trying to capture a Valkyr?
We're alive. because
Does it
she
ever
wanted.
explain that?
Yeah, if you in the story, I don't remember. It was.
Why she what?
It was because with the power of the Valkyrie, she could like essentially raise an army of undead that was greater than what she could do. Like
And be a bad guy.
yeah,
She's a bad guy. What
not
do you
necessarily
expect?
a bad guy. She was trying to because Forsaken
Man,
can't reproduce. She was trying to
you're just
preserve her
mad.
species because they can't have kids. So the only way to get more Forsaken is to like raise more dead. So she wanted to raise more dead.
She can't raise dead?
She
I
can.
thought she can.
Yeah, she can.
So she wants
But
to be like
with
raised dead.
having the power of the Valkyrie, she could have raised a lot more dead, and she would have had this super like species.
Yeah.
And she just wanted to preserve the life of the Forsaken. She didn't want to. It wasn't to like
To wage war.
to kill everyone.
Yeah.
At that point, she wasn't even. Well, I guess in Legion, she was war
Sylvanas
chief.
hates everyone and always has.
I don't know.
Until, like, the only time she didn't hate everyone was when she was alive.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like
Banshee
it's not-
Queen? What part of Banshee sounds like even a neutral person? Like,
I just
no
think-
Banshee in the history of Banshee
But again,
has ever been
if
neutral.
I would be totally fine with
That's
the
some
story if
D&D
this is
shit
what
right
we
there,
were
dude.
like, if that what it was going for, you know. It's like, but they've always said, "Oh, she's morally gray." It's like you don't know the whole story.
I mean-
and now it's like she did it kind of like she acted like a child. Like it's not like a strong war chief.
Sylvanas is the same as Deadpool.
No,
Yeah, she's an anti-hero.
no.
Yeah. Because
No, because
Deadpool in
even
some
Deadpool
instances
has,
is a bad
like-
guy.
Even Deadpool has, but he does things that need to be done.
They needed to burn that fucking tree
They
down.
didn't need to. In fact, it would have been smarter for them to keep it so they had a safe storage
No,
for their
dude,
Azurite.
burn the home.
I was
You're
kinda
fucking
hoping to
over.
return to a Horde City.
That's
You-
what I'm saying. Make it a horde city.
Where they fucked up is she didn't personally kill Malfurion.
Yeah, they did mess
That
that
was
up
down.
too. It's like here, or take care of it. You make sure the job's
Yeah, now
done.
Malfurion isn't actually
He
dead.
had 1 HP.
Yeah, that's a
Finish
simple,
it
just
off.
like
If there's one
auto
thing I
attack.
learned recently in YouTube videos, every single expansion, Malfurion is the reason why everyone is still alive. If you didn't notice.
With what?
What do you mean?
Malfurion is like,
It was Velen that kind of saved us. Well, technically, it was us that saved us from
And Illidan, really.
Legion or Sargeras.
Illidan. But Illidan is
Illidan
Malfurion's
didn't do
brother.
anything.
The only time
So it's a Storm
Malfurion didn't do anything, his brother did it.
But even still, like we're the ones
Hyjal,
that stopped
Malfurion.
Sargeras, and technically it was like the Titans, but we made Argus. We defeated
we were
Argus.
watching.
Argus the Unmaker, and restored power to the Titans, and they stopped Sargeras.
Malfurion is
He wasn't even there.
He's
he wasn't
saving
even in the room.
he's saving the
Khadgar
day
was
a
there.
lot. A lot.
Valen was there.
A lot.
We were there.
Go look up Malfurion.
We were there.
He's had his hands in the cookie jar.
Malfurion's just annoying.
He is annoying. I wish he would be dead for
I was
real.
really hoping that he would die.
I was hoping.
Yeah.
Yeah, they should have killed him instead of Ysera.
But you're butthurt about them burning the tree.
Yeah, I'm not butthurt about them burning the tree. I
That's
feel like you're
Malfurion's
only
home, dude. He was like
taking
defending
parts
that
that you
tree a
wanna
long
hear.
time ago.
It's just I don't like how they progress the story.
Dude.
It seems like a bad.
You need to go
story.
watch the YouTube videos where they like discuss the lore of each different like main character in WoW lore.
Yeah,
And it's so funny because he's like, it's really basic and rudimentary explanation of the lore in like the best way, where it's like brief.
Yeah.
And you get the whole rundown. That's
Yeah,
how
you
I
get
knew
everything you need.
Garrosh is like innocent and didn't
Yeah.
actually do anything wrong. But
if you watch,
You'd
that
be
video,
surprised-
They also changed a lot of the things to make it seem like Garage was innocent.
you would have you seen it?
Yeah,
Oh, what is the guy's name that makes them then?
that guy that made that one video. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that one video where he's talking about like all the stuff that Thrall did bad to.
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
Like some of those things were taken way.
He
out
makes
of
one for
context.
every character.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he has one for Arthas and he has one for.
So Arthas was a good guy too.
I don't
Fuck
think
yeah, he
so.
was.
I
Arthas
don't
was
think.
framed.
Well,
Yeah.
it goes all the way back. He goes all the way back to the lore in Warcraft 3.
Right.
Yeah, and explains all
Well,
that.
but the thing is like Arthas' story arc was so much better than
Arthas is
what they're
kind of the
doing, like-
same line as Sylvanas.
Exactly, and I'm okay with that. But the way they did the story was way better than some dying night elf just go.
Dude, then call up Blizzard on the phone. And
I
let
need to
them
wear a
fucking
red
know.
shirt, and I'm gonna go talk to the
dude.
lore developers
Dude.
at
You guys messed
BlizzCon.
up.
You look nerdy enough apparently to get up
I'll
there.
just do my nerd voice.
Yeah.
I couldn't help but notice in chapter 3 of the book, you guys wrote this.
Oh Jesus.
I'll get like huge glasses and a pocket protector.
I thought Arthas was pretty cool.
Arthas was so cool.
It's super cool. Probably the best villain of all time.
Oh yeah,
in
that X-Pack was amazing.
Well, I'm talking Warcraft 3.
Man, whatever.
That was good too.
But yeah, so anyway, back to mass genocide. Now we can get back on the serious topic.
Okay, yeah.
So destroying half of
just
the population.
Thanos those people.
Yep.
Apple users.
Just Apple. Really, and not just Apple users, but anyone that falls into that category.
Yeah,
like, if you're the type of person that would buy Apple, I mean, I can't say that because I bought an iMac, but that's just because of exclusivity for software.
I don't own any Apple product personally.
Yeah, I'm actually looking to sell my iMac.
Product.
So if you're interested in a 2017 iMac and you want to be part of the new genocide, hit me up.
Yeah,
I'll take it.
Yeah, we have one Apple device and two Apple devices in our home.
Oh, and you see how this is just counting up? It's probably 3 by the time you get home.
It's Julie's phone and her Apple Watch.
Unacceptable.
And that's hers. But there are some people I understand. Like,
You
I'm
haven't
not going to be
converted her
bothered.
yet?
I'm not going to be bothered.
I mean, I don't care if my wife wants to practice any religion. I'm fine with that. But if she ever comes to me and says I want an iPhone, I'm going to be like, listen.
She's all about the aesthetics and the rose gold color. If Samsung made a rose
in the road
gold
in our relationship, if you buy an iPhone, we're going to get a divorce.
If Samsung made a rose gold colored.
Don't you have an iMac?
What?
Don't you have
Yeah,
an
he
iMac?
does, dude.
An iMac. I do. Yeah, I just admitted to that. But an iPhone, that's where I draw the line.
Dude.
All right, I got it.
But here's the thing, though.
I got
have
an iPod.
I have 50% of
used
the
to have
Apple
an
products
iPod,
in
but
my house
I don't
that
use
he
it
does in
anymore.
his house.
I only have it because my old car only used Apple products like to hook up. So I had it, and since I got my new car, I don't use it at all.
Wow,
It's
the
actually it's in a
iDrive or
bag.
whattever
See
it's
that?
called.
It's in a bag out in my garage. It
See how he's
sits
just
there.
bragging? Ever since I got my new car.
I know. My wife got a new car.
What'd you get?
I didn't do it by choice.
She got
Yeah,
a,
you did.
She got a
I mean, it was a decision. Sure.
BMW 328i. Yeah.
High
It's
roller.
pretty legit. It was a steal. We literally stole the car.
Nice.
From-
Grand Theft
Boosted
Auto.
it.
From
Myself.
BMW of Scottsdale.
Nice.
No, certified pre-owned. It was like
What year?
2015?
Is that your
2015,
final
2016?
Ooh.
Yeah, 2015. It's 3 years old. It was a lease. Then got taken back from its lease. Lease was up.
Yep.
Recertified. So there's a whole slew of things they do with that.
Yep.
Tip top it off, change tires, all that shit.
Yep.
Clean it all up. And yeah, it hadn't even been out. It was like parked in like the upper garage, like in a back row. Like
Waiting to
it
be
made
put
it
on the
onto
lot.
like it made it onto the internet before it made it onto the lot.
Wow.
Yeah. So we found it and I was like, dude, really?
We got our Honda from a pre-owned certified from a AutoNation Honda in Tucson.
Yeah.
So see, we were like
Nice. Kind of
kinda
crisscrossed
it.
Crisscross there.
Yeah.
I'm probably going to need a new car myself, but I don't know. I don't really want to have to do that right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just do it.
No. No.
What are you doing right now?
Yeah.
Listen, you got time? We'll hook you up.
You don't have the mortgage that I have. Trust me.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys will have to come down and
So
visit me.
We
Constantly.
tried to last time.
I know.
Yeah, we
There
were
was an
going to.
explosion.
I swear to
And
God,
then,
I
yeah,
had
then
pictures.
something
I had pictures to
exploded.
prove that
Whatever.
Roberto
You
almost
can
got
get
his
those
head
online.
blown off.
Dude, I have to go to the hospital because there was an explosion.
I think it was like he was at the hospital.
I was at the
already.
hospital until
Oh,
late
see
at
how
night.
the story's changing? Yeah.
Late at night,
whatever.
and then you guys were like, "We want to come over early as shit in the morning," and I'm just like, "10's early, by the way."
It wasn't 10 though. We were planning on
was
going
like
at-
11.
It was later.
I
than
mean,
that.
that's like
Maybe
only.
12.
I mean, if you wake up at 5, it'd be like if I came over at 6.
That'd be fine. I'm already up for an hour.
Nah, fuck that shit, dude. I'm barely awake after an hour of being awake.
See, that's your problem. You're projecting your insecurities onto us. That's what's happening here.
Yeah. Anyways, it was just
Yeah.
bad timing, but
I don't
I
know,
mean,
man.
I'm capable of driving up here every other week, guys,
Yeah, but
to
I kind
make
of
a
feel.
podcast.
I kind of feel like there's
don't.
ulterior motives when you come up here too. Like I don't think that.
No,
you're-
'cause
that's the only stop.
Because
You
the
catch
dude
my
that
drift.
said you look like a nerd was like, oh, this thing could turn into like a big thing and I'm making money. And we were discussing like revenue.
After he called me a nerd?
Yeah.
It's probably because like,
and
you got the nerd on your
honestly,
side. Have him calculate some algorithm for search engine optimization so you're like the top result. And now that I know that, I'm just perpetuating the idea.
I was teaching this kid how ad revenue works.
Yeah.
And then I was like saying that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when your channel on YouTube gets demonetized, that only means for ad revenue.
Yes.
That does not mean for viewer count revenue.
I don't know about that.
Because isn't it like $1,000 per million views is what you collect? It works out roughly to about $1,000 a million views.
Maybe I think it's $20 for 1,000 views. So what's the math on that? So you'd have to
carry the
0.
That'd be like $2,000.
That'd be $2,000 per million views.
Per million views. That's even more. That's double what I thought it was.
Yeah, maybe it is $10 per 1,000 views. I don't know. I heard the 20 thing a long time ago though.
On the web?
It should be.
Yeah, it's Google.
But I was explaining to him like, so you just do the math on that, and it's like 1/1000th of a cent per view is what you get essentially. And I said, with ad revenue, it's more like 1 cent per view or half a cent. I think
ad revenue is more.
It's more, yeah. So like,
but then you could start getting sponsorships and other stuff too. Because I was trying to explain to someone that like, if you made a video a week and you got 1 million views, and say it's $1,000, right? For that,
it's $4,000 in income,
right? So that's $4,000 a month, right?
Yeah,
that's not a bad income, but that's not amazing. Like, it's not like you're like,
it's $48,000 a year. It's more than the average annual.
Right, but that's what I'm saying though, and that because I was trying to explain, because people thought like, oh, if I get on YouTube, I'll just be rich. I'm like, not necessarily, and it takes a lot of work to do.
Yeah, and your production quality's got to be there.
It has to be up,
way up.
With Trent, like you have to do like
to compete, unless you have really good, unique content.
Right.
Then it doesn't matter if people are there for the uniqueness of your content.
Right.
Then your production quality, it's like a balancing scale.
So if your production's high and your content sucks and you're Jake Paul, like that's how that happens. You have high production value, but like, what's the content? You feel like,
what has this kid done in life that
like every time I watch
like
and I've never seen a whole Jake Paul video, but every time I see a Jake Paul clip, I feel more like I want to buy an Apple product, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Well, I feel like I gotta buy Jake Paul merch.
Yeah.
I just get this like deep-seated feeling.
I'm like an idiot now. I should probably buy something.
That if I'm not buying Jake or Logan Paul merch, that I'm fucking up in life.
Right. But then if you have people that like that know,
but I don't think my mom's gonna buy me Jake Paul merch for Christmas.
I'll put in a good word.
Okay.
I don't know. Every time I go to Snowflake, I was like, oh, I wonder if like Tyler's family, because wasn't one of your brothers still up there?
Yeah, Trevor.
Yeah, and I was like, oh, I wonder if he was like, I don't know.
It's like literally like a quarter mile from Tara's parents.
Really?
Not even. Like, go straight past, turn right at the
Love Lake Road.
Yeah, you turn right onto Love Lake, but then it's an immediate left, and it's back that street.
Shut up! It's like a dirt road.
It turns into a dirt road back there. There's a bunch of houses being built back there.
I think my brother's just finished getting built. My wife's friend, they live like you turn right and then an immediate left, like onto a road right there.
Correct. Yeah, that's exactly.
But they're like on the first house that like is.
So it says $1,000 per million views.
$1,000 per million views.
Boom, son! I didn't even look that shit up last night. I'm just telling them spitball on $1,000 a minute.
But that's what I was saying. So if you get 1 million views for your videos, you make 52 videos a year. You know.
Yeah. It's $52,000.
$52,000.
Essentially. Pay taxes.
That's not like a bad income.
No.
But it's not like like you're not.
I mean, you're probably going to spend 40 hours a week making that one video.
If you want your production value to be there.
I mean, just to hit mediocre production value,
right?
Shit ain't easy.
No. It's definitely getting there. You have
a lot of initial investment to make your production
value. That's what I'm saying, though. It's getting there. Like a couple, like years ago, this equipment probably would have been thousands of dollars.
Oh, yeah.
Now it's hundreds. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
it's come down a lot, and you're getting more for your money, too.
But
Same thing with
what
like cameras.
sparked that conversation was he was trying to tell me that people age out of content on YouTube, and I said, what are you fucking talking about?
What do you mean,
he was like saying that like if you start as a YouTuber in your 20s, by the time you're 40, you're hard pressed to come up with new relevant content, and you're easily replaced by the next 20-year-old who's more relevant. And I said, that's assuming that you lost your entire audience and had to start from scratch, and that they didn't grow with you.
Right. Well, and I think that's like the guy in the oil rig that doesn't want to adapt. You know, if you evolve with the times, you'll always have content to produce. Yeah. Like if I made a video about like today, like a vlog.
Yeah. Stay relevant.
20 years from now, what I do in that day is not going to be the same. It's like, oh, Simpsons did it. It's like, no, because
he used the worst example of a YouTuber ever, saying this dude did parodies of like popular songs, dubbed over the actual song. I'm like, this idiot banked on.
You get a couple weeks out of people like that's funny, and then it dies.
Not only that, but like it was like he gets like 14 million views on his like Despacito like parody video, but he uses like the actual Despacito song. Copyright strike.
Yeah.
You know, you're changing it, but you're setting yourself up for them. Right. If you're not paying Justin Bieber for Despacito, then you're not gonna get to make money off of that. They'll demonetize your content. You can make that content all you want,
or all that money will go to the right owner of the video.
Correct. And I was like, so if you build a YouTube channel around content that's like that, you can't expect to be compensated for that for any length of time.
Well, even like streamers and
your
stuff.
videos get demonetized, right?
Yeah.
If you're streaming and you put a video on demand on YouTube from a Twitch stream, and you were listening to copyrighted music in the background, they'll demonetize your video on YouTube. That's just how it is.
But what I was getting at, though, was like a streamer, they don't age out unless you're playing like the same game, but you're still going to have a crowd that is nostalgia for that old that old stuff.
Exactly.
So I don't think you'll age out. Like if you pick up a new game,
his argument was completely dog shit. So. But
this is the guy that called me a nerd.
Yeah.
So I already don't like him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So this got me going down like the road of like, well, that makes sense. Like he was trying to swindle people into subscribing to his Patreon account.
Oh, he has a Patreon?
No. This YouTuber in the example, right? And so I was like, yeah, that's kind of what you have to do. And he was like attributing that to like, well, his content's not relevant. I'm like, no, his content is just against the rules. Like it's copyright. You can't make money off of that. So no wonder he's demonetized. But that doesn't mean that he's not going to get paid for the 14 million views that video gets.
I think in copyright laws, I think that does go to the original owner person. Because like the whole video then would be theft.
But I'm pretty sure there's instances where like but
I think like if someone watches that video and they subscribe to him because of that video, he gets credit for that.
Right.
So he's still in a way is getting something. It's still views that are just putting his name out there.
Right.
I don't know enough about how YouTube works because I've never been.
Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. Like they probably wouldn't pay for the views on those videos either.
Because
total demonetization. But I think there are instances where
you can get AdSense.
Yeah, you can get demonetized through ads, but not through viewers.
Right. So I don't know how the two are related. I don't know. Like I said, it could be that way. It could be wrong.
It's up to YouTube's discretion whether they want to fucking pay you or not.
Right.
Period.
Yeah, because you're technically would be like they classify as a partner of YouTube or whatever.
Correct. Yeah, partnership. They do the same. It's called the same with Twitch.
But that's where it's like you say things like, and then you merch stuff and you diversify your as a business sense. If you only based it on like those views, then you're not going to do well. Because if one video, like say you do get $1,000 per week for video, that's what you bank on. Mm-hmm. 1 week it gets demonetized because someone's offended and they like report it and it's demonetized.
Right.
That's $1,000 that you're not going to get. Yeah. That you're dependent on your income.
And you got to hurry up and make a new video.
Right. And hope that it doesn't get demonetized.
Matches
and so then that's when you start with the merch. You start with sponsors. You start with other things like donations, Patreons. Like a lot of people, like I know it's like kind of you either are for Patreon or you're against Patreon. But I look at Patreon as like how many people are not paying for cable TV. So let's just say if you were going to pay for cable, it was $60 a month. Yeah. With Patreon, you can go as little as like $5 a month. Yeah. And you watch that content more than you would watch like a TV channel.
Who are we to tell them that that's not okay?
You're just spending money for entertainment. Like, what's the difference of giving like Cox or Comcast money? Yeah. To watch Fox News. Yeah. When you can just give this news like the Young Turks or whatever, give them $5 a month just to watch them. You don't have to pay those guys. Yeah. So in theory, you're actually saving money by a la carting what you watch and paying for that. And so it's just like the same thing with like Major League Gaming. I can't remember who we were talking about recently, but we were making a comment about like MLG and stuff, and they were laughing. They're like, "You mean people would actually like pay to watch people play video games?" I'm like,
MLG is kind of irrelevant. I think you mean esports.
Well, same concept though.
Right.
Like the
MLG is kind of small scale. Esports is like League of Legends.
But you know what I'm saying though, like the teams that play like
so somebody mockingly.
They were making like saying like who would like watch people play video games? I'm like, have you ever gone to like a football game? And they're like, yeah. Like, so you paid money to watch someone else play football, and in his face instantly he's like, dang it.
Yeah.
Like, you're right. And so I'm like, yeah, it's just perceptive. Like, why is there this stigma?
Well, clearly he doesn't watch enough ESPN because esports is on ESPN
now. Yeah. It's
and other channels.
Right. It's getting there, and that's the cool
it's
thing.
There. Well, it's not getting there.
Well, it's still growing though, is what I'm saying.
Oh, it's going to take over. They're projecting. There's a.
What's crazy though is that you're going to see people playing like Madden
or something like that.
That you're going to have more concurrent viewers watching like people playing Madden than you are going to have people watching the actual.
I mean, less bullshit.
Yeah.
Less bullshit.
You don't got
motherfuckers kneeling on the sideline and shit in Madden.
They have like their computer in front of them. Oh my god! Like, take a kneel. Like
Madden 2019 came out, and my brother was streaming it yesterday.
It's because it has Antonio Brown on the cover. And I'm gonna get it because of that same reason.
That is exactly probably.
I didn't buy the last one because it had Tom Brady. I was like, I'm not buying that stupid game. But this one has Antonio Brown.
It came out, and my brother Travis was going on and on and on. A chunky fat kid.
Yep.
Twitch TV / chunky fat kid.
Chunky fat kid.
If you want, plug him a little bit. And so he's like, dude, it's so much more realistic. And then I'm like watching the stream. I'm like, it looks like the exact same fucking game.
Every Madden game
that's ever
since the Nintendo 64.
It feels so realistic. I'm like, yeah, because real football players smash each other with fucking joysticks, right? Yeah. Like they use joysticks to determine.
It feels so real. They changed my A button to feel like a football.
Exactly, and I'm just like. You are buying into the scheme.
It's because it has Antonio Brown on the cover. Madden. That's the only reason.
It's like the most dog shit game ever.
I want it though because of reasons.
I hate football, dude. I quit and dropped out of every single fantasy football league I was in.
Poor sport because you were losing?
No, I did pretty good last year. I just don't like it. I don't watch the fucking games.
Yeah.
All I was doing was keeping track of stats.
I like football because it's a good way to like barbecue and like just have something to watch. That like it's kind of competitive, it's kind of fun. You know you have people over, you can drink during the day, and it's perfectly
I don't invite people to my house, and I don't barbecue.
See, this is another reason why
if I barbecue,
you don't invite us over.
It's an open invitation to.
You just said you don't invite people.
I'm
not a people.
Implied.
I'm a nerd. That's
implied.
Right. That's
it's
right.
Implied
You'll invite nerds over to
You're allowed
house.
to. You could stop by anytime you fucking
wanted to.
You
do the pop in?
Yep.
Nice.
You're allowed.
Well, September, I don't know the day. The first 11th? Weekend of September.
Never forget.
Yeah, never forget that. But the first weekend of September, like Labor Day weekend, I might be down in Tucson.
Cool, so come over.
I'll go stop by then.
We'll grill. Sure. I'll go get
steaks
I'll go get
or
some
chickens.
No, carne.
Oh, carne.
Carne from the carniceria.
There you go.
Yeah, pre-marinated. Oh yeah, buddy.
It's good. So you basically don't do any work with it.
I get what's called arrachera.
You're essentially going to take someone else's work, change it a little bit, and take full monetization credit for it.
I'm just going to cook this shit.
That's what I'm saying.
They cook it outside.
You're going to do a little bit, and then you're going to be like, and you're going to get all the props.
No,
You'll be like, I grilled this.
I'll straight up tell you. No, they do all the fucking work.
Okay.
But it's all about buying the right cut of meat. So there's different carne that you can buy from a carniceria, which is a meat market, Mexican meat market. It's like a butcher shop. You can buy all sorts of shit. And there's different carnes, but this one in particular is the only one I buy. It's the most expensive. It is. It literally is.
That's the most expensive.
It's the most expensive.
Bragging, Tyler.
Because it's actually it's called the butcher's cut. So it's what the butcher would keep and not sell because it's so good.
But why are they selling it?
They sell it because
of the marketing.
They can sell a shitload of it.
Taking a page of Apple's book and they're marketing the crap out of that.
It's so tender. It's so tender that you can cut it with a fork.
I like that kind of meat.
It's so good, dude. And the marinade. I found the marinade.
What are we still doing here?
Yeah, I know. Like we're going to eat after this, Jerome.
Jordan's coming too.
Jordan's coming too.
No, I can't. I don't feel well. In case you haven't been able to tell, I've been recovering from a vagina swell, so I can't talk very well, and I've been coughing. You get sand there.
Yeah, but we'll do that, dude. I probably need to get a new grill.
Because the last one blew up.
My dog actually.
Yeah, you see, he was like, "Yeah, my grill is not working."
It isn't. But I'm thinking about getting a cast iron, so I could always just cook it inside.
Do you use
mind
gas
that.
or fire?
What?
For your grill?
You mean
like charcoal or propane?
Oh, propane.
Get out of here! You want it to taste like real meat?
Well, let me get to this. I'm gonna get a cast iron skillet, like a really good one, and I'll just cook it inside.
Is there like different grades of cast iron?
Yeah.
Okay, because we have cast iron skillets that we use for all of our inside cooking.
Yeah.
And I love the taste of it.
Yeah.
But I didn't know there was like grades. We just literally bought like the.
I think there's like a low grade and high grade.
Well, I don't know what we got. It's probably low grade.
Where'd you get it from?
Amazon.
Probably medium grade.
I don't remember the brand, but it was like it's a big brand. Like I see them at like, what's that sporting goods store?
Dick's?
Bass Pro Shop.
Oh.
That's
Good thing we got a spit guard here.
Did you spit?
I did.
Nice.
It's
a pop filter, not a spit guard.
Works the same.
It's not like a sneeze guard at like a salad bar.
Exactly. I would think if you went to like Crate and Barrel and paid like $1,000,
then you're paying for a Crate and Barrel item. It doesn't necessarily speak to like the quality.
It's the cast iron, bro. It's higher grade
that's what I'm
cast
saying.
iron.
Like, cast iron is cast iron. Like what? It's either cast iron or it's not cast iron.
Dude,
like if they add anything else to it, then it's not cast iron.
Cook fucking because you can cook steak on that.
Yeah, isn't that what you do?
What?
You cook your steak on the
like a skillet or a griddle or like in a pan.
Do you have cast iron?
If you do cast iron, it's better than like a Teflon or something.
Well, you shouldn't have Teflon anyway. The thing is, like with our cast iron though, I never like wash it. I'll just wipe it down afterwards.
Yeah.
And leave everything.
Keep the flavor, baby.
Oh, and now
never wash a pizza pan.
So we've
either.
had it for like pizza pan same way, but now we've had it for like 4 years. It's like you'll taste some like the eggs from like 2 years ago. And you're like, this is a really good aged flavor. Like it just tastes everything. Even like our pancakes, they have like this like meat flavor to them, and you're like it's just a hint.
Yeah,
it's subtle.
Yep.
But I just add a little bit of oil on it. Get it hot.
Exactly.
That's the way to go.
You know what's up.
Yeah.
When did you learn all this shit, dude?
Since I got married.
Natty was just saying how because we were talking about you and doing a podcast, and he was like, he still plays this fucking game. I'm like, yeah, man. And I told him about Mage Tower, and then he was like, is he still working at Intel? I'm like, kind of, but not really. And then I explained to him your situation. He's like, what a fucking long way to come from living with your ass in the condo.
Yeah.
He's like, how long has it been? I'm like, that's the crazy
7
part,
years.
dude. I'm like, shit changes real fucking quick.
Super fast. What was so funny, Jarrell was talking about, he's like, we were playing with this other guy. He's like, I think you know him. His name was like Natty. I'm like, oh yeah, Natty.
That's what I told him. I told you, Jarrell. I said Natty is a friend of me and Jordan.
I told him that too.
I know, he did say that, but he was funny because he was like, I think you might know him, like Natty. Like he's so funny because he didn't know who it was.
But, yeah,
he does it. Oh yeah, Marcus.
But the one thing is, he said that, and I didn't agree with this, and I could be wrong, and I apologize in advance. But he said that Chuck is Jarvis.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why doesn't he sound like Jarvis? Because I was like, I know Jarvis. It doesn't sound like him unless it's a different.
How do you know Jarvis?
He thought it was Charles or something.
Charles Jarvis III.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've met him before.
When?
Like when he was in Tucson.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
You've never met Chuck.
Then I've never met Chuck because when I was talking to Chuck.
You've never met Jarvis.
But I know for a fact.
You've met Jarvis? I'm pretty sure.
I met a Jarvis.
There's only one.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So if there's only one, then I met him.
Well, there's actually 3 because he's a third. But.
Right. But I probably didn't meet.
You didn't meet his dad or his grandpa.
Yeah, his grandpa and I go way back.
Yeah.
We used to get breakfast on Sundays. No, but I met A. Jarvis at like a gathering one time.
Oh, you don't recognize him because he looks way different.
Well, and 2, yeah, because it's in WoW. So of course I don't recognize him. He looks like a Death Knight.
Pretty sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, his voice though, like I didn't recognize his voice.
He has a really distinct voice.
That's what I'm saying. Like it doesn't, unless he's like sounds different, because people sound different over like voice chat.
I mean, he has war syndrome. Yeah, it's what happens when you go to war and you get really fucked up and see shit.
I've never been
PTSD?
to war.
Amongst other things.
I'm about to go to war.
But the point is he's a changed man, definitely.
Well, that's how it
from
happened
the time that you met him.
That's what happened to Chavez.
I saw Chavez like at the beginning of June.
Too.
Kind of, not really.
Well, maybe
he was fucking ridiculous. He was fucking ridiculous when he was in town.
I'm just saying,
great.
like I missed
it was great.
People
got really mad, and I thought it was great.
I just see him trolling in like the Shark Tank. I was just
still always trolling.
Yeah. I love
even in person. It's
Chavez.
Like 100-fold troll.
Remember when we made him
in person?
So Chavez was bragging about he could play the violin, and we're like, no, you can't,
dude.
And then he brings over the violin, and they're like, oh crap, like you really play, and he played it beautifully.
He like literally plays the violin.
Like, Chavez, you can play the violin. Like,
yeah,
it was awesome.
We were like talking mad shit. And he was just like, I'll fucking play for you guys. You want to talk this much shit? Like, he's like, I've never played for anyone really besides like,
but
my
because
family.
we pissed him off so much because we were just ripping him a new one for playing like a girly instrument, like all this stuff. And he played it, and we were like,
he's got like
a
really fucking good. Couple $1,000 violin, and he's like pulling it out, and like it's all like fancy and shit. And we're just like, holy shit balls, dude. And then he like gets on it and starts playing it. We're like, what the fuck, dude? This is not... You are not the person that does this thing right here that you're doing now.
And that's exactly why it's not high school and that everyone can be their own person.
Exactly. You never know what to expect from people.
Right.
And when you know the dude that you would never expect to play violin, and then you meet the same dude, but he plays violin, that you know that dude a little bit better than other people he's never played violin for.
Right.
And so when people only see this dude, they don't see the full guy.
Yeah, they don't have the full picture.
And that's the case for a lot of fucking people.
Oh, for sure.
For a shit ton of people.
Well, but then there's also, too, like, so I was walking to the bathroom the other day, and this guy had, like, beat up jeans, like, kind of a baggy shirt, long hair. And he was just like, hey, how you doing? Like, super nice and polite, right?
Yeah.
But then I'll see people, like, in slacks and button-downs are, like, the biggest dicks, like, ever. Yeah. And so it's like, you're going to get bad people and good people no matter what they
Tryhards in every aspect. I bet you the guy that wore the jeans and had the long hair is a harder worker than some of those
probably
people, too.
Yeah.
Way harder.
Yeah. He didn't work for us, so I don't know who he was.
Probably worked his ass off for somebody, though.
Yeah, he would have been fired if he showed up in those type of jeans. No, we have a dress code.
Yeah. I got one of those, too.
Yeah. Whatever you want to wear.
No, when I go to work. I got polos.
When you go to work,
I got polo. Like,
you've been working
they're like
more, though.
golf shirt polos, and I don't have to tuck it in.
No, yeah.
And I wear jeans with, like, tennis shoes.
Yeah, I miss that. I'm still in my slacks and my dress shoes.
I know.
That's a choice, though.
These are my dress shoes.
Not really a choice anymore. We've kind of made it standard.
These? Plug these because this is like a pretty sweet. My shoes are all wool. They're like starts with an M, some kind of M word like Marischal or something like. Look up M wool.
Moccasins.
They're made out of wool though. Like the whole shoe is made out of wool and they're really light. They have my dog's
even
fur
this right here.
Besides the sole, but it's all wool. They're called Allbirds. Allbirds, man. They're supposed to be. Their claim is that they're the most comfortable shoe in the world.
It feels comfortable from the outside.
It's pretty fucking comfy.
I don't even know how to say that.
Yes, try and say it.
Just try it.
Mapotherm.
Huh?
Mapotherm.
Spell it.
That's probably not right.
Mapotherm.
It's like a type of wool.
That's definitely not it. That's technical sheets.
That's the guy's name. His last name is Wool.
Ah, yes, of course.
Types of wool.
I don't know.
You don't see it?
You didn't give me enough to go on.
It's an M.
Types of wool.
M.
It starts with an M. Let's check this out.
Check it out. You're gonna find it.
Wool.
What?
That's why I put M. Wool.
I hear the thing now.
I don't think you can hear it on the recording though.
That's good. bear with us. We're going to tell you what kind of wool so you know.
Because this is so important.
Because when you hear wool...
Merino?
Merino wool.
I said it first. I just said
Merino
it.
Yeah, but to be
wool.
fair, I was like a lot less than you.
Merino wool.
Yeah.
I just scrolled down.
It's pretty. They're pretty legit.
Merino.
Got those for my birthday.
Birthday.
And this hat. New hat, guys. Same hat, new.
It's a U of A hat.
Yeah, it's my... remember my old black hat?
Yeah, dude, you don't even realize, like, when I buy the same pair of jeans that I've had for years, but it's the same one, but a new one.
Yeah.
Best day ever.
Exactly.
Like, these
Julie
jeans
was
are
like,
sweet.
Julie's like, you love that fucking hat, but you've been literally wearing the shit out of it for 4 years, and it's disgusting.
Yeah.
I'm getting you a new one.
Same
so this
hat,
one's
new.
not, it's not flex fit, it's fitted, so it doesn't get all like stretched out and shit. And it's like fresh and clean looking.
Yeah.
Way better than the old one.
And you only have it because it's all black, or are you a U of A fan?
Both. Simultaneously.
This guy we work with, he got the Cardinals license plate because it was black.
Yeah.
He doesn't care for football at all.
But he still has the bird on there. I'm like, why don't you just paint that off or something?
Yeah. I don't know if you can. I don't think you can do that to a license plate.
No, you're not allowed to like modify them. You
Yeah.
can't even have a border thing that covers the Arizona, the
Right.
word Arizona, or you'll get pulled over and get ticketed.
Yeah.
Whoops.
So if you look and you go buy a new car, most of the dealerships that have those things for advertising purposes modified theirs so that they uncover the Arizona so that people can leave them on.
The first thing I do is take off all the branding of the dealership. Like, you're not paying me to advertise for you.
Yeah.
I left it on.
Unless you're, I don't know, my wife kind of likes the fact that people know her BMW of Scottsdale. It's kind of classy.
Yeah, it's kind of braggy.
It is braggy, dude. It is braggy.
She's trying to be with the popular kids.
It's what she wanted, man. And my wife had the same car for 14 years, so
That's
she
good.
deserves it.
Yeah, earned it at that point.
Yeah, definitely. The AC went out, so it was kind of like
no, yeah, you can't
less
do
than
that.
$1,000. Her car's worth less than $1,000. We kept it. We didn't even trade it in or anything. Just ride it till it dies. It's the Luna car.
Yeah, that's what I wish I would have done, is kept my Malibu.
Yeah.
It's the one thing I regret.
I mean,
about that
you don't
whole
even
thing.
get.
No, they gave
Nothing.
me like $750.
Why even get rid of it
Right.
at that point?
Well, we looked it up too on Craigslist. I could have sold it on Craigslist for like the
They were going
cheapest
for, like,
one.
$4,000.
It was $4,000,
Like,
and
just put it up there for $3,000, it'll be gone.
Yeah,
at
because-
night.
and
dude.
mine was in better condition than some of the ones that were up
Some
there.
people are just looking for a new,
Right,
like a
just
quick
cheap
car in a pinch
Everything
because
AC
they're
worked. It had new
Yeah.
shocks and struts.
Oh,
in
yeah,
it. It
that's
would have been
golden.
Yeah.
That's. I feel like, but it was
Working
just,
AC, new tires.
It was just
still
late,
runs.
and I didn't want to have to worry about selling it or whatever.
Even then, dude, it's always nice to have an extra vehicle. So now we have 3.
Yeah, I
We're
mean,
probably
we have 2. I mean, I
3
feel
is
like
going to
that's
be
good
our
enough
limit.
for
Well,
us.
we have 3-car garage, so
Let's
we
see,
needed
we
to fill
don't.
in all the slots.
Brag you again.
Yeah,
you know?
filling all the slots.
Yeah. It's like, it feels
We had a
weird
big
that
empty
there's
space,
no car here.
Now there is a car. I
That's
wasn't
funny.
sure it would fit in there. I always call that third slot the jet ski slot
There
because
you
one of
go.
these days I'm going to own jet skis.
Yeah.
And that's where they're going to go.
I just
So you have
park
to get rid of the car.
diagonally, so it's like I'm taking up both
Yeah.
spots.
I have to park diagonally to fit. It's kind of weird. It's weird.
That's funny. What are we at?
151.
151.
Sounds decent.
Yeah.
It's a good return.
I think we
Good
did. We
return.
covered a lot of different topics.
Lots of different
This was
shit.
like a roller coaster.
Appealed to everyone.
We probably needed to check the size limit because you must be this tall to listen to this podcast.
Exactly. That was a really
dumb.
lame
That was
joke,
so
but
dumb.
It's the
Yeah.
nerd joke. I'm trying to live up to the nerd
Dude,
thing. I've got
we'll
extra.
cut
I've
that
got a
out.
fan who's
The-
not really a fan, but haters.
He watches.
Haters
He
usually
watches.
turn into
Haters
fans.
gonna
You
hate.
know what I mean? Like,
He's gonna know we're talking about him if
Yeah.
he watches this one.
Yeah.
He's definitely gonna know we're
then
talking
he'll leave
about
a comment and be like, "The nerd called me out.
Yep.
I'm not going to live in a
Shouldn't have
day
been
where a
talking
nerd
shit.
can
Talking
call me
about?
out."
Shouldn't have been talking shit.
Yeah.
Ooh, red shirt?
No.
Oh.
This was the guy that called me a nerd.
Mm.
Yeah.
The red shirt guy
Who's that?
is a nerd.
We won't name his name. He'll know. They'll just know.
Yeah.
Anybody
We'll
we
tell
ever
later.
talk
We
about.
don't name names
There's
here.
plenty of people we talk
named a lot
about
of names.
or
We ain't no
reference in
narc.
here. We do name some names, but
Yeah.
if we're talking shit on you, we're
Yeah,
not going
we're
to
not
say
gonna
your
name
name.
you. No.
But we know who
Yeah,
you
but
are.
You got it.
You
got
know.
it. Yeah.
Because nothing's off the table here.
Yeah. Speaking
We'll-
of which, I need to tell you a
we'll
story
fucking-
after the podcast about
Okay.
that same thing. So,
Nice.
all
So
right,
yeah,
so we're
I'm
good.
gonna wrap this up.
Yep.
Go get some food.
Food, eat,
I haven't ate all day.
like, comment, subscribe,
Kind of.
do that stuff.
Yeah.
Do it all.
All right. Have a good one.
Share with your friends. Peace.
See ya.
Yeah.